are live.
Ooh,
Hola.
we're bright.
We are very bright.
Let me help that out.
Mark's going to he's going to dim the lights just a little. I'm going to pull Chad up. Hello. Hello. Um, let me get my look, I'm wearing my 3-man era Genesis Invisible Touch shirt tonight. And hello. Is that better?
Yeah.
You think so?
Well, it'll help when the sun goes down.
We're a little bit crooked.
Shh! Don't tell anybody.
I'm just saying we're a little bit crooked. I can put my phone. I can put my phone under it right here, and fix that situation. There we go.
Now we're straight.
Now we're straight.
Okay.
Ola Lambton and Jenny, Annie, Arlene, and Kelly. Hi there. Yes, Kelly, you got here at the start. I almost didn't, though.
TMI. Just no need to go any further. Just leave it at that. Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
we'll leave it at that.
That's.
I am really tired tonight, though. Boy, I could have taken a nap. Just had what?
I'm not saying anything.
Yeah, I'm tired tonight. I really am, but I've been doing a lot of maintenance stuff.
And you had stress.
There was stress. My keep your home IP that has to stay connected to an active internet signal on the other side of the tunnel in Kansas City. Well, the Google fiber went down yesterday, and apparently it went down for several people in my mother-in-law's place in her surrounding area. So, of course, the work laptop, their VPN will not allow me to connect. I keep getting a DNS issue. It didn't matter what I did, even cell phone, it wouldn't take it. And so I was stressing out about how I was going to get online today.
Well, and then my mom is so conscious of making sure that she does not get work interrupted, that here's this 85-year-old woman down there, because for some idiotic reason, when Google did the installation of her fiber, they actually put it up in the rafters in the basement.
The rafters that are like 10 to 12 feet above
not that quite that high.
They're at least 10 feet.
She had to get on a step ladder, which
she shouldn't be doing.
No. And so, and because she can barely see the lights when she stands on the floor, and she wasn't sure if what she was seeing was correct. And then it was like, let me go up there and unplug and replug and see if just rebooting, and that didn't help. And then it was like,
no, she had to call a technician. So they came out this morning. So I spent half a day yesterday not doing any work. And then this morning I got the bright idea that perhaps, just perhaps, I could turn the Surfshark VPN on my phone, connect my phone to the local internet, and then hotspot my phone. So I connected to the local internet on my phone. I turned on my Surfshark VPN on the phone. I did a speed test. It said I was in Kansas City. Then I did the hotspot, and believe it or not, that worked. So if my keep your home IP ever goes back down again, this is the first time in over a year.
Yeah.
Over a year that this has ever happened, and it's because they had a system outage in her neighborhood. So it did work. It did work using local internet with a VPN turned on my phone, and then hotspotting from my phone. I'm surprised it worked. Hey, and it worked well. I had very good speeds.
You got further than I'd have been like,
I didn't know what I was going to do, because I had 3 meetings before this guy was even going to show up to look at anything. And I'm like, I got to be on these meetings. They're pretty important. So I figured it out.
You always tend to.
You got to figure it out, right?
Hola, Chris.
So we got, hey, it's Chris. Hi, Chris. It's been a while. Yeah.
Yeah, we know Arlene. That's
We're still not straight. Um,
oh, and I'm
Miss
sure Mrs.
Peppa,
Papa's just hating having to be with the grandchildren. That's
I know
like
that's horrible, right? And Suzanne, hi Suzanne. Oh goodness,
so.
yes, we've had a lot of discussion
We did, and
about
what prompted this was we what was the name of the place? Labyrinto, the museum.
Oh, yeah, it's the Labyrinth Museum
I think
in
it's Labyrinto.
I think it is Labyrinto, and it is in Tangamanga Park.
Sorta. I mean, you really
Right-
have to
right
go
on
out.
the outer
You have to go
edge.
outside the park to get there. Oh, Terry.
It's a rather large. Well, I don't want to say large. It's very spread out. Lots of exhibition halls.
Yeah, I mean, there's what 8 or 9 exhibition
Something like
halls,
that.
and then there's an observatory, which was really cool. We got, we were there during the day. We got to look at the sun.
We got to look at the
through
sun
the telescope, and it was just like
with the sunspots and everything.
And I'm
it was
like,
really cool.
how many levels of neutral density do they have on this thing to be able to
not burn your retinas?
burn our retinas? So,
yeah.
But we did this, and if anybody happens to be in the SLP area and you're interested in lots of different sciences, I highly recommend going there. And
Hi, Terry.
And so what we did is we did the entire experience, and that included a 3D movie, which was really pretty cool. And it was about saving the pandas.
It was a panda sanctuary and kind of a panda fertility clinic too.
Yeah, I mean, you got to see a lot more of some of the pandas than you really cared to, but they were very cute and everything else. But of course, they're pandas, so it takes place in China. And they show driving through different little towns and cities in China. And it occurred to me, because I have a cousin who lives in Shenzhen, which is in southern China, not too terribly far from Hong Kong. And she and her husband were there for this is now what, 6 years?
All of COVID.
Yeah, all of COVID.
All of COVID, and before that.
You think COVID in the U.S. and Mexico wasn't as bad as the U.S., but you think the U.S. COVID policies were bad? Should have seen what they were having to go through in China. So, I mean, to the point where they were being checked just to make sure that they were inside their apartment. But enough about that. But what dawned on me is my cousin's husband passed away almost coming up on 2 years ago.
Was it 2 years already?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, 20 months, somewhere right around in there.
Wow.
So,
I was going to say a year.
No, it's been longer than that. And so they lived in Abu Dhabi and lived in a couple other different locations. But I was like, wow, we really think it's difficult sometimes living in a foreign country, living here in Mexico. Imagine living someplace we had no idea what the signs even begin to mean. And so, we were having a conversation about it, and it's one of those things where it comes down to, if both parties aren't invested 100%, it is never going to work. Because I'm sitting there thinking of what Jen and Charles were going through. First in Abu Dhabi, where it was in Arabic, and then in China, where it's in Mandarin. And I'm going, they can't even read the signs.
Well, and that's true. And they were teachers, and they were teaching English-speaking students. So they had a bit of a break. But even still, outside of work hours, you've got to navigate life.
Mm-hmm.
And if you think reading Cyrillic, Arabic, Chinese, it's not enough. I mean, at least when we're in Mexico, we're looking at Greek alphabet. I mean, we can figure it out. You know what I'm saying?
Is it Greek?
It's Roman.
Okay,
I
thank
said
you.
Roman
I'm
first,
sitting
so
here
it's
going,
not Greek. Although Roman is based on Greek.
I get that,
But
yeah.
anyway, but I mean, the letters, we can see the letters, and even if we don't know what the words are, we can try to sound it out, maybe see similarities, maybe get an idea of what we're doing. But can you imagine living that life? And even the written language is just,
Yeah, I mean,
you know,
and so what it prompted us to start having a discussion was, wow, we think that we are totally dependent upon each other, and in a lot of times we are, but there are certain things that we are able to figure out.
mhm.
And especially as our grasp of the Spanish language has moderately grown. I mean,
It's improved.
yeah, we were able to figure out a lot of things now that even when we crossed the border, that wasn't going to be the case. So um, the reliance and the ability to count on your partner and everything else becomes so much more. And
Well, and what about if you are a solo traveler? Well, now you're relying on building
building,
a support system wherever you go. And that's almost kind of where Jen is now. She's had to build a support system because well, at the moment, no, because she's in the
well,
UK.
yeah, because
But
she just had heart surgery in London. So
but since her husband had passed away, she stayed in China.
well, just to give everybody a timeline as to what happened. Their contract was coming up. He was diagnosed with cancer. He was in the hospital, and she needed to make a decision as to whether or not they were going to leave or stay. And
he was getting good care.
And he was getting excellent care.
Yeah.
And so it was just one more thing on her plate. And I remember her saying, she had no complaints about being there in China. So she went, I'm staying. He gets the care. We have the friends, and we're not trying to have to move with him,
Right.
being hospitalized. So they went, she went, we're staying.
Now imagine.
And then he passed away not more than 2 months after she signed it. So.
Right. So she had spent a minimum of a year, maybe a year and a half, in China alone. Their two children are grown in college or graduating college in the UK, so they're not there. Of course, her husband passed away. It's just her and whatever small network of friends and support system that she has developed while being in China. And I remember her taking classes in Chinese. And I don't know if any of you are familiar with Chinese in general.
Just waving to Jesse.
But in general, you're talking about, I don't know, 10,000 characters. And those characters are combined almost like in syllables to form a word. So now you've got 10,000 characters, and now you're combining them to make words. And in addition to that, when you speak, your enunciation, exactly where you put your stress as you speak, can take a single word and make it mean multiple things. It's got to be extremely overwhelming. And that was another thing I thought about. If we're going to talk about relationships and living in a foreign country, it's not just about your significant other. If you're a solo traveler or just living alone, you've got to build a community.
You got to have support.
You need support.
And honest to God, we have all of you, which a lot of you we have had actual FaceTime with, and a lot of you we consider to be good friends of ours, and but you need that boost of being able to, because not every day are you going to be up. There's times where it's like, oh man.
There's times I just don't, I won't answer today I had 2 international phone calls coming in from San Miguel. I know nobody in San Miguel who has my phone number who would call me and not just use WhatsApp. Now, I didn't answer them.
Well, I know one, but then he'd probably call me first.
He would use WhatsApp too. So I'm like, I didn't answer them. Like, who's calling me from San Miguel?
Could have been Stephanie, and you just ignored her.
No,
I'm just saying.
it's one of
Hey,
those
Steph,
things where I got my cell phone number when we were in San Miguel. So the area code and everything fits that region. Probably just somebody had a wrong number. But the thing is so I answer it. I'm not going to have any freaking idea what they're saying. I'm not going to know how to respond to the call. Yesterday, DHL called, and Mark was getting a package. Thank you, Annie and Arlene. And they called because there was nowhere for them to park to deliver the package. Well, I didn't know that, but I knew he said he was from DHL, and I was waiting for a package. So I'm like, you know,
let me run to the door.
I'll run to the door, and I could see the truck, and I waved, and he came over, and right in the middle of the street, I went out and I got the package from him. But I really did not understand what he was telling me.
Well,
I really didn't. I heard the word paquete. I was waiting for DHL, so I was like, okay.
Well, I mean, just to get off on that tangent for a second, I think probably the hardest thing to do is understand Spanish on a cell phone.
That is true.
I mean, it's just, you have no ability, to be able to see facial, or get any type of body language as to what is being said. You're hearing it all. And right now, in expat Spanish, Amy is developing a new course sort of for people who have gone through all of her courses. And so it's one of those where she was like, gave everybody, I don't know, 6-8 months. And so it's all of us who have finished it. And when she was sort of checking in and going, where are you at? How are you feeling? Da, 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 da. Where are you struggling? And I think there were 7 or 8 of us on the class, and listening and comprehension was numero uno, across the board.
It is.
And so she put together, in the second class, she said, well, we're going to address the listening part of it. And she gave us some good hints for improving our listening skills. But when she did do one, and then she put the words that were there, I suddenly realized I hear the language now better than what I did before. So I was being too hard on myself. And so it's one of those things of going, just go with it.
Well, you know how there are so many different dialects in the United States, and you can be from different parts of the United States and not really totally understand what somebody from another part of the U.S. is even saying, which could be very, very true in places like New Orleans, for example,
Boston.
or Boston. Yeah, and it's the same here. And some people are going to speak very clearly, some won't. So some people will enunciate well and some won't. Some will speak very fast. Some will speak very quietly. So it takes a while to get all that.
And then when you're trying to program in the vocabulary that know when you hear it versus, but yeah, so that's just getting that down, is difficult. So it goes back to the whole, back to the relationship part. One of the things that I think we said this before we even crossed the border was both parties got to be 110% bought in.
And why is that, Mark?
Because if things start to turn sideways, and they will, I mean, you're going to have things that are going to be, trying, you're here, you're there, and all of a sudden you think this is what's going to occur. And no, that's not what's occurring. It's now going this direction, which that's life. If one of them is not 110% bought in, if they had that lingering doubt, then it becomes, I told you so. And
it's kind of one of those things where many times I've read like these psychological evaluation type things too.
I'm not crazy. My mother had me tested.
No. To try to estimate your level of stress in your life. And some of the things they'll say is, Have you gotten married recently or ended a relationship recently? Have you moved?
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Okay, so let's start there. You just moved. You didn't just move. You moved. You moved to a new culture. You moved to a new language. You moved to like it's a foreign country. It's a foreign environment that you probably have to adjust to. And that brings a lot of stress, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
stress. Even if you think you got this, even if you're pretty fluent and you're adventurous and all these things, it's still stress. You still have to adjust to it. You still have to learn that not everything is done the way you're used to it being done. And if you're doing it with a partner, that stress is just going to multiply. Yeah.
It becomes the mushroom. And one of the things, fortunately, choosing Mexico,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of that stress gets relieved by the wonderful people down here. I mean, that's, it's not a case of they add to the stress. No, they actually subtract from the stress. So that part does make it easy everywhere except for when you're driving. But that's just, it's different. So, but, so that helps alleviate some of it. But it's one of the reasons we ended up renting the house in Querétaro, because the stress of moving over and over and loading that car. And every time we loaded that car, it ended up in an argument because it was just like, and you could feel the tension build for a week going up to that Saturday when it was time to load the car.
Yeah.
And then a lot of the time, not every time, but many times, we had a deadline, because if we had an 8-hour drive, we had to have the car loaded by this time to be able to get to our destination, so that we weren't driving at night. And so that's just more stress and more pressure that just kept getting pounded on us. And then it's just, adapting. And it was really interesting. And Annie Vet and Arlene were there for this whole conversation. Both of us had reached the same decision, and both of us were afraid to say it to the other, because we thought that, all right, they want to continue on this. Well, you know what? I'm going to take one for the team, and we'll just keep going on. And finally, Gina just looked at me and goes, I can't keep doing it anymore. And I was like, done.
Well, I can't keep loading a whole car.
Well, no, I mean the constant move with the way we were doing it,
right? And that had to change.
That had to change.
The moving and visiting places was not really changing much. It's just the way we were doing it had to change. It had been enough.
Yeah, and so that was one of those where I'd already come to that conclusion. But you know what? If she wanted to keep going down the road, we were going to keep going down the road. And, when she went, I can't do it, I was like, oh, thank God.
Tired. It's just tired. Plus, and then, of course, there's the fact that I am working, and this job that I have is more stress than I thought it was going to be. So it carries over into my personal life, even after business hours, because of the stress. So, it's probably why I'm so damn tired tonight.
Well, I mean, her job, which we first got down here, was literally one that she was able to do her job, log off at whatever time she was done, and then it was over. She didn't think about it anymore.
Right.
And, okay, I need to do some videos. Okay, boom, 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 boom.
Yep.
It was what, 8.5 hours in the day, 9 hours in the day, whatever it was, as far as, with the lunch and everything. And that was it. And she knew what her task was. No one gave her any grief or anything else. And it was just do it and finish.
That's it.
And this one, no. I mean, she may log off, but for next 2 hours, it's the unwind. And one of the things that we do very well is we understand that, when she's venting at the end of a day, it's what she does. That's, and I don't go, God, would you give it a rest? I'm tired of hearing about it. No, she doesn't expect me to really listen or interject anything. She just got to get rid of it, And so we used to commute, and when we lived in Charlotte, we had about a 45 minute commute because of traffic. And I'd pick her up, she'd get in the car, she'd start going, and I'd just sit over there, have my cigar, and I'd be driving, Yep. And by the time we got home, she unloaded. I got a chance to recharge the battery. Life is good. So understanding that this is not, she's not bitching at me or anything. She's bitching about the job, and she's bitching just to bitch because it's stressing her, and she's got to get rid of it. So, not taking it personally, because it ain't meant personally.
No, and he's very supportive in the fact that he would just listen. That was it. That's all we had to do.
Well, I'd be there.
Yeah. That's it.
And she knew that if she was going off on one of those, and she still does, and she needs me to render an opinion or something, then it's, Mark, what do you think? And then, okay, that's my cue to, okay, I got to pay attention now, because otherwise.
Poor Mark, though, it happens all day now. It's an all day thing. I feel bad. Like, I don't know, how many times did I come to you and say, oh my God, this is what he's doing now?
Which day?
Today. Just today. It was several times.
Oh, yeah. It was 2 times when I was outside, and then it was a couple times in here. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, let's catch up with some hellos here, and we'll continue. Hey, it's the Besses. We see you. And Gen X, buenas noches. And oh gosh, I love this. You did your chores early. Gracias. and yeah, you know what? I have to believe that Chinese, some of the Cyrillic languages, I think in general, a lot of Asian languages in general.
Well, I mean, whether it's Korean, Japanese, Chinese,
and,
especially
Greek. I've been trying to do some Greek stuff. Oh gosh, I'm always saying the wrong things because they don't look like what I want to say.
Yeah, the hardest part is I can tell the difference between the languages when it's written.
Mm-hmm.
Because Korean has a lot of the O's and bold.
Yes.
And so there's little hit, but that's the only thing I know.
Yeah.
It is the difference in them. I couldn't begin, and at least, I can read. I read Hercule Poirot, with Agatha Christie, and he spoke a lot of French. Well, I was able to phonetically get through a good bit of what he said. Every once in a while, she took a lot more French to be like, the hell is this? Oh, okay.
C'est de l'or.
But at least the letters are the same. The pronunciation may be different. But so, no, I can't imagine how she does it.
Hey, Jesse and Cindy.
And Bruno.
Hola, Stephanie. Not for me, unfortunately, working in Minnesota. Aw. Oh, from San Antonio. Basi, hello. Hola. And I think we might be caught up. And we are. Okay, so why do we want to talk about this relationships thing today? It's not just significant others. It could be with a parent. It could be with a parent or a child, even siblings who don't even live here with you.
Mm-hmm.
And you still have to maintain a relationship with them. And you're not with each other. You're not, they don't understand the things you're going through. And you sometimes cannot relate with what they're going through anymore either, because you're not keeping up on what's going on back home like you used to.
And sometimes they have unrealistic mental images of what we're going through down here.
Yes.
Because they may go, oh my God, I can't believe they're living in that dangerous country. And it's like,
yeah.
What country? No, when we call it El Norte, es muy peligroso, ahí. So, I mean, we feel safer here by far, and so it's just one of those, but she's right. I mean, I call my mom every 2-3 days and just to keep up with her and what's going on, and, contact with the kids and how all that's going. And we're looking forward to seeing them in about a month.
About a month now, yeah.
So.
But what if they are traveling with you? That puts stress on that relationship as well. And whether it's a child or a parent or a sibling or a significant other, that stress hits you all at it's equal opportunity. And
Ooh.
oh Lord, and you really do have to be in agreement that this is something that you both you all wholeheartedly want. Because if there is somebody who does not, and they're just coming along for the ride, just to be a pleaser,
or even if they were browbeat into going, that's even worse. Then if they reluctantly make that move, then they're going. Every time something zigs instead of zags, they're going to be going, I knew this wouldn't work. I knew this wouldn't work.
Yeah.
And there's times when, I mean, let's be for real, they get fewer and fewer the longer we're here. But there are times where you go, damn, especially when you did it across the border, are we doing the right thing? That doubt just every once in a while creep in.
The doubt comes up. Some days you're like, this has been said before too, I just don't want a Spanish today.
Oh, that's a Craig and KJ. Yeah.
Yes, I mean, I just don't want a Spanish today. Well, you have to. If you're going to integrate, you have to. And even if it's just a little bit. But yes, there's going to be days you don't want to. And you have to be gentle on yourself and forgiving to yourself and realize that those days will come and they will go. As long as you are here because this is where you want to be, you're going to have days like that come and go. It's okay. It's acceptable. You will get past this. This too shall pass.
Yeah, absolutely. And and one of the things is the longer you're here and your Spanish, unless you are just totally sticking your head in the sand, your Spanish is going to get better. It just does. I mean, even if you're not really actively working on it, just because of osmosis, driving around, seeing signs and going, oh, plumero, that must be a plumber. I mean, things like that where you start, because, that's right, it's on the side of a truck and there's a wrench there. You start increasing your vocabulary, just by being immersed here,
just by being present,
right? And then putting some work into it, suddenly you start going, okay, I can get better, and I mean, we went out with Mark and Paulette on Sunday and had taken Uber down to Centro, and we had a conversation with the Uber driver, all the way down there, and there were only a few times where it was, I'm sitting here going, que es la palabra, so it does get better. And one of the things I think that does is that starts to take even more stress off of you, because you're like, I can deal with, if I'm going to the supermercado, pretty much anything that comes out in that checkout line, maybe 1 or 2 Mondays, but can probably get through just about, anything that pops up there. So, I go, am I fluent? Oh, hell no. Not even close. Am I better? Absolutely. And it's just one of those where you just go, okay, give yourself a pat on the back every once in a while and go, yeah, I am getting better. And so, and that takes the stress off, because you're not going, oh crap, I got to go here, and I have no clue what I'm going to say. I don't have a problem anymore walking into Ferreria or Home Depot Supermercado, Lavanderia. And am I going to stumble? Yep. But is it going to blow my day because I'm going to beat myself up? Nope.
No.
Not anymore.
No.
You know.
Well, I guess that's true with me too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little more hesitant to be as outgoing as him because I really haven't been doing as much as he does, especially when I'm concentrating on a job and things like that. And I didn't get to take as many Spanish levels as he did with expat Spanish because the last class I had so much trouble even making it to class because of my work schedule that I was just like, this felt like a wasted effort for me because I didn't have enough time to study. I didn't have enough time to do homework. And some of the time I had to skip the class because I had something going on with work. So I was like, I'm not going to do another one until I have time to devote to it. Because I felt like I was getting over my head because I couldn't devote the time needed to successfly get through the course.
Well, and she puts expectations, up here, and that's who she is, and it's one of the reasons that I could not do editing for videos to put them out because they would not even come close to reaching her minimum bar, much less where she strives for them to be. So it's like, well, when she gets time,
I have a bar.
And it's like, I was photo, I was not video, and even my photo skills were,
Let's catch up here. Oh, hola, Gringissimo, you're on the train. You're on the train in Chicago.
I've been on that train.
I have not. I've never been to Chicago. Well, wait, I flew in, but I went to Milwaukee to go see Daryl.
Yeah, and then we flew through Midway this past. We flew into Chicago.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I know we were in the airport,
but I mean, I left the airport,
right.
But I went straight to Milwaukee.
Well, yeah, from O'Hare, that's a easy, and you could have,
yeah,
almost taken the train, but.
So Arlene, I wanted to move here forever after 16 years of trying to convince Annie to move here. A couple of times, I also thought to myself, "Are we doing the right thing?" But I'm so happy we moved here.
Yeah,
we're happy too, but it happens. It happens to the best of us, doesn't it? Where you will be sitting one day and it's been a hard day. Either you've struggled communicating or you need to get something done and you don't know where to go to get started. Maybe you haven't built that foundation of community yet or friends. And yeah, it'll hit you and you're like.
And sometimes it's a yearning for something stupid. I mean, but you go, oh man, because sometimes when we're stressing and everything, there are things that we have used in our life to help compensate and lower that stress level. Stress level. Damn it.
You bastard.
You bastard. Anyway, but you count on these things. So what you end up doing is going, I can't find these things down here. So you find something else.
You find an alternative.
Yep, a substitute.
You find an alternative, like, some of the seasoning mixes that we can't find here. Well, we go online, we look for recipes, and we make up our own. That kind of thing.
Her taco seasoning mix is the bomb. I mean, it's
not really mine. It's a recipe.
Well, okay,
but yeah,
the one that she put together exceeds anything that we were getting in the little, rip it off, put it in the ground beef, and it's like, okay.
Yep, and I've learned how to make some various Asian dipping sauces for different things, and I don't know, some.
Well, a lot of different things. But one of the things that also is important is you have to remember that the change that occurred, you're not the only one feeling it.
Yeah.
You have to be sympathetic to the fact that, there are days where she has good day, I have bad day. Okay. Then vice versa. And so, you can't just go, damn, wonder what's wrong with her. Well,
Well,
2 days ago, that was you, dumbass.
I
So,
mean,
I mean,
that's basic relationships 101.
101, but
But
it's even more important when you can get isolated down here and you have nobody else really to sort of vent to. You can't go to one of your friends and go, man, she's having a bad little stretch here. Well, you know what? You're the one that is going to be relied on to assist getting through that. So,
well, yes, and Kelly has a very good example of exactly what we're talking about when it goes south. So, wife agreed to move to Mexico before they got married. And then after visiting, she said no to permanently living in Mexico. So they got divorced. Like, this was obviously his plan all along. He wanted to live in Mexico, and he must have convinced her to give it a shot, right? And she didn't like it. That was the end of the relationship. Apparently, neither one of them were willing to bend.
That was built on sand, not on concrete.
Yes, it was.
I mean,
Yes, it was. And you know what? In a lot of relationships, no matter where you are in the world, everything looks great until you live together for a while, and then everything falls apart. Not for everybody, obviously.
No,
but that's why I never had a big grudge against anyone who ever wanted to just live together without getting married, because the truth of the matter is, you really don't know who you're going to get married to until after you're living together.
Well, I mean, till you go, when you find out the daily little things that annoy you, and then you sit there and go,
oh yeah,
okay, hold on. My relationship with her is more important than this. So I'm going to have to just get over this and quit letting that annoy me, because, gee, the alternative is I don't have to put up with this, but I don't have her. Duh. I mean,
you mean like me telling you someone's behind you?
Oh God.
I do that a lot. Like, we'll be in a store and he might be backing up.
Or on the sidewalk. Or
right, he might be backing up, or he might be in the middle of the sidewalk, and somebody is coming up and wants to get around him, and so I just say behind you, and he doesn't like that.
I'm not 4.
I know.
I'm 64 years old. I've navigated this world. I've been in a lot of parts of this world. And you know what? People behind me, they have the ability to go around,
Mm-hmm.
and when I'm behind somebody, I wait until that. So, I don't need the assistant. I don't need the backup camera. It's just, that one didn't need to be said though. That was like,
I know it was.
I can't take this anymore.
I know, and I don't like it when he squeezes the toothpaste in the middle of the tube. You know what?
So she just takes a toothbrush and puts it back, and
I just squeeze it back to the front again.
Well, you notice I have not ruined any cookware lately either.
Yes, I don't like it when he uses our plastic storage containers that we keep in the refrigerator with food, and he sticks them in the microwave and melts them. But he hasn't been doing it lately, so. It's like, we got some real expensive ones, the kind with the snaps. Please don't ruin these.
I mean, it's one of those where if it's a 50-cent thing, I'm like, you know what? I'm tossing the leftovers in there with it. And that it annoys her, so I stop doing it.
Yeah. Man, anyway, those little things are enough to get on people's nerves in a normal life situation. All of it just gets compounded when you end up going to a completely foreign place.
Yeah, because one of the things that happens is you are 24/7, and that's I mean, used to be she went to work, I went to work, then we come home, we'd have our evening together, then go to bed and get up, do it all over again, and realistically, we had 6 hours, 5, 6 hours of together time. And then, the other 18, well, she's at work, I'm at work, and we work different schedules. So, now it is 24/7 basically within the same walls. And So that dynamic changes, and you find that, okay.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not like he's going out to play cards with his friends, or it's not like I'm going to concerts with, I don't know, with Laura, or,
No, I mean,
I mean, like, we're not doing things apart from each other. We are always here, always together.
and that
Yeah.
takes. I mean, that's another dynamic that you have to sort of, if you're going from, oh, we are working, we're retiring, we're going to Mexico. Okay, now you just changed two major dynamics. One is you went from working to retirement.
Remember that list of stressors on the exam? That was one of them. Change of jobs.
And now, so, and when you retire, it becomes, okay, I got to find my rhythm. Because all right, how is my day going to be spent? And that's, so you got to find that little rhythm to go, okay, I'm going to get up about this time every day, and then do this. And then, so however you spend your day, you got to find it and make it so it's adaptable and suitable and something that works not only for you, but for your partner. So, and then they have to now adjust to the fact that, oh, he's under my skin 24/7 because he's like, well, no, she has to work. Give her space to work. That's not my.
You know what would reduce my stress at work?
I know a lot of things that reduce your stress at work, and I know number one.
Aside from him,
yeah,
vinyl records.
Oh well, that is true.
That is true, because I would sit in my office in the U.S. in the spare bedroom and work and play records all day long.
Sometimes the same record over and over
Erotic
and over and over. And it's like,
okay, to be fair, I've always loved Erotic City, and I finally got my hands on the long extended DJ EP of it. I think Let's Go Crazy is on the other side, but I don't care because Erotic City is amazing. And I was so excited. Of course, I bought it online from a dealer, and it arrived, and I played it over and over and over that day. And he finally came upstairs and he said, "Can this be the last time that you play this song?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "I've heard it enough." I said, "Oh, honey, I've only played it." He goes, "I think you've played it like 6 times already."
And it's a long song. I mean,
and I'm like, "Oh, honey, no, I've actually played it at least a dozen times today."
Good. Then you've heard it enough.
Yeah. So I played something else because he was tired of hearing,
Yeah.
He was done with it. Oh gosh. You know what? Okay. I do make yummy variations of French toast. One of them is the Paula Deen French toast casserole with praline topping. Very, very good. And then the last time I made French toast, I just went out and bought a baguette and sliced it really thick. And I just used an egg wash with some half and half in it and a little bit of cinnamon. And I just made it that way.
The Paula Deen is one of those dishes where it is phenomenal, but you need like about half the size of a slice of bread because that is about all you can get down.
It's really good, but
it is so heavy.
It's heavy and it's rich.
Oh,
lots of butter. Paula Deen used to be the mayonnaise butter queen. So yeah, there's a lot of it in it. But it's very good. Oh, look, guys. We like to cook. Okay, Jesse just got back from Ajijic. Y'all were dead right. That place is easy to find friends and meet others. The expat community is integrated and strong there. That's where I'm moving in January. That community has been around since at least the 1950s, I believe. So yeah, it's very solid. And
we'll find out mid-October.
Yep. Yep. And I think overall, I think that alternative lifestyles are very welcomed and accepted there. But not just that, just in general, the overall acceptance level is very high, and the Mexican community is very integrated with the expat foreigner community there. There have been times where I have heard that people in that area are unhappy about the cost of living there in general, and
Or the growth.
or the growth.
Because
But
there's only so much land in that stretch between mountains, lake, livable land.
yeah,
It's
yeah. But I mean, it's been that they have the Chapala Society. It's been around for decades, and you know, it's a really soft landing for people who maybe don't speak the language real well, and they want a soft landing spot to build that community to get integrated. It's one of those that,
mm-hmm.
yeah.
No, I mean, from what we know, because
we haven't been there,
we haven't
but
experienced it firsthand.
but I believe people what they tell me about it, for sure. I think I would like it more if people would leave their baggage at the border. I do hear that some of that spills over at times in the community.
No, that it spills over in the expat community, regardless
Yeah.
of where.
Yeah.
And I would say the overwhelming majority do check it at the border and go, you know what? That's their problem now, not mine.
Yeah.
But there are some that just, want to bring it and go, I'm going to pretend I'm living in the U.S. and all this really matters and it upsets me and this and that and everything else. And,
Yeah.
leave it. Leave it.
It's not enough to want to live someplace else.
Back to the relationship, that adds stress.
It
Stress
does.
is a relationship killer.
And if the reason is basically an escape plan. If this is going to be your landing spot because you're escaping,
well, you can do that.
You can do that, but you
just
have
turn
to
it off.
You have to remember that you're not where you were anymore. So you can't expect things to be the way they were, and that's not what you wanted. That's why you left. So why do you want to bring those things here?
It's just one of those things that you just have to go, you know what? I am so much better that the news is off. Turn my ball games on and go, okay, ball game's done. Go to bed, read my book, and that's it.
For sure.
And stress level has
right. So let's get here. Oh, look, see, Terry gets it too about they can go. Yeah.
I mean,
behind you.
Well,
behind.
It's one of those. It's one of those things that if you're just like driving on the highway, you'd come up behind them. Well, you either try to get them, to move over, or you wait until you have the opportunity to go around them. I'm not just gonna. And I will speed up. Like if I'm coming across, at the end of an aisle and I see somebody's going and I may be a step or two ahead of them, then I will, put a little extra pep in the first two steps to get past them so that they're not slowed down. So it's not like I'm inconsiderate. It's just, you're behind me. I keep to one side. I don't hog the middle of the aisle. So no.
Nah.
Don't bring that shit here.
And see, so you don't microwave anything in plastic or styrofoam. See, I don't care so much about the styrofoam because if you melt the styrofoam, it's in your food now. So have fun with the styrofoam.
Ugh.
But when it comes to storage containers, especially the type that have like screw lids, snap-on lids, those are the nice ones. And now we're going to boil the hell out of the insides of them with spaghetti sauce and just ruin them. That's all.
And no, because then I'll hear about it.
Yeah.
And not in a pleasant way, because it's like, this annoys me. So, okay, don't do it.
And he's like, I'm sorry. And I'm like, you're always sorry. If you were really sorry, you wouldn't be doing it anymore.
See?
uh, but yeah. See, you two are so honest and relatable. It is so great. We don't know any other way to be.
Ask our daughters. They all are like,
we hit them between the eyes with 2x4s. I mean, it's just like, look.
There's no dancing around questions. It's
No.
like, if this needs to be asked, guess what? You know, and they know that we're not going to play that game. It's you know, we don't get to lie by omission because we failed to ask the question. Nope, the question gets asked, and then you either have one or two choices: lie or be truthful. And they know that they're going to get caught in the lie. So
yeah, you can't really get too much past me. So
what are you saying? They can get it past me?
I don't know. I don't think my kids really ever had to interact with you to that point that they were being honest or lying.
Well, no, because I would never get a chance to do the interrogation because you'd be right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, I was the one that. Well, one of them didn't really get the interrogation, and it'd be, you know, look at me and go, you know, I'm like, hey, you do the crime, do the time.
You know,
I mean,
you don't get it past Mama G.
Nope.
Okay, so not sure if you covered it earlier, but did you find one depending on the other completely when Spanish skills were lower, and how did you deal with dependency? I definitely depended on Mark. And that is because I did not even start to really seriously try to attempt to learn Spanish until we had gotten to Merida. And I don't think we actually had started yet even there. Even Progresso. No, it was Progresso. And I don't think we actually started them until after we left Progresso.
Correct.
So.
But I've been doing Duolingo for almost 2 years at that point. And I did take Spanish in junior high. And coming to Mexico a little bit, you know, it started spurring some of that on. And I wasn't competing with French. You know, in her brain, she's got Spanish on one side, French on the other.
Yeah.
And
the French kept interfering from me because.
But to answer the question, yes. And then there are times where I would just shut up, and she's forced to fend for herself. I mean, that happened in Tuxtla Gutierrez when she needed copies, and she looked at me, and I'm sitting on the bench.
He sat on it, and he's like, like, in other words, he's like, go for it. You need to learn how to do this, is what he's saying. You know, his body language is like, you need to learn how to do this. And I did it.
And I wouldn't have let her, you know, totally screw up, you know, and suddenly order, you know, 2,000 copias, you know. And so, you know, but no, there are times where it's just like, and then there's times where she'll tell me, I want to do this. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I've gotten better. I'm still not as outgoing and eager to jump into it. Like he's better at that now. He steps up and he just does it. But, you know, I try, and I do make an effort. It's just, I'm not as comfortable at this point yet as he is. And for a while there, I did depend on him quite a bit. You know, and that's just it. Like I
still does when like, I mean, this was just last month. We were at the house, and she got a phone call, and it was the Telmex person coming to fix it, and she was just she was already pissed off.
I was very pissed off about not having internet
and stressing because we hadn't had internet for 4 days, which was affecting her job and this and that. And so the Telmex guys, like, you know, no conozco, couldn't find us, and she just hands me the phone. Here.
I had no idea what he was saying.
Yeah. And so it's like, okay, yeah. And I knew that, first of all, she wasn't even remotely in the right frame of mind to try and deal with this. All she wanted was, get me my damn internet. And she wasn't using the word damn, but we'll put it that way for now, you know. And so it was like, okay, you know, and I'm like, you know, no problema, you know, al frente, a fuente del casa en, you know, pantalones de negro y un azul camiseta. And here he comes, and I'm waving at him, and he's like, "Oh, okay." Now when he got in the house and he was trying to tell me what went wrong,
No idea.
no, I don't
So
care.
we still don't know what happened.
Don't care.
Just get it. Just get it.
It worked. So
he had to do something outside though.
Yeah, no, it wasn't in the house. It was something outside the house, but it's one of those where if you have one that's stronger than the other, you sometimes have to, and it's hard for me because I just jump in, and I'm not afraid of making a mistake. It's one of those that's like, I know I'm going to screw up, and I'm going to use. I guarantee you, I will use the wrong conjugation of a verb. Don't care. I'm trying, and they appreciate that I'm trying, and they get the gist of what it is I'm saying. So, I don't get hung up on the fact that, oh, is it estuve, está, estaba?
Oh gosh, please don't go there because I still don't have those down.
Throw one out there and go with it. So, but that's the biggest thing is not getting my brain in my own way and just going, I'm going to screw something up.
Hola, Willie.
Hola, Willie.
And this is leading right into this question right here. And what advice would you give to a couple who are both introverts? So let's clarify what an introvert actually is first, because a lot of people think that an introvert is somebody who is shy. And that's can be true, but not necessarily true.
That can be one.
That can be a characteristic.
A characteristic.
What an introvert usually is somebody who processes things internally. And they are someone who large crowds and external situations can drain their energy. An extrovert is someone who is, they can be boisterous, they can be outgoing, but they often are energized by crowds and events and things going on around them. So your level of introvertism, I guess, is also dependent upon some of the other parts of those personality traits, the INF, INSJ, things like that, right? So depending on what type of introvert you are, it may just be that the idea of having to put yourself out there and being unsure of yourself can be enough to drain you emotionally and mentally. Maybe it's one of these things where you're willing to give it a shot, but in very small doses. And you just need to withdraw for a little bit and regroup and then give it another shot a little bit later. For people who are in that, I would say you need to know yourself. You need to know, where are you at this stage right now? Can you give it a little bit of a try? A little bit. And how did that go?
And do it in moderation.
Yes,
especially if you don't have one that is that lead dog in the dog sled,
mm-hmm.
who can, oh, I'm tired. That's fine. Get behind me. I'll pull us through.
Yeah.
Because that
maybe you can alternate.
Because with me it's events. Okay, let's go. Let's do it. And she gets tired. It's like, okay.
Perfect example of this. When I found out on Saturday that Marilyn Manson was going to be at the Feria, the month-long fair here in San Luis, I've never seen Marilyn Manson, and I'm not a huge fan. I like a few songs. But I'm thinking to myself, this could be an opportunity to see somebody that I never would have normally seen anyway, and they're right here. Well, I'm glad I didn't go, because the thing that held me back from going was
the potential crowd, because it's a big fair.
People, large crowds drain me. Man, when I saw the video the next day, they had 400,000 people that day at that fair, and 205,000 were at that concert. I can't even fathom that. I don't think I've ever been to a concert that had more than 50,000 people in it. Ever. That would be a
Mm,
stadium concert.
yeah, I mean, Genesis at Three Rivers, maybe.
Maybe that's what I mean. They would
Yeah,
have to be a stadium concert.
yeah.
Otherwise, it's been like 20,000 or less. I can't imagine 205,000 people. So I'm fine just watching the videos of it. I'm glad I didn't go, even if they were doing the
But
beautiful
I
people.
think it's one of those things that first of all, the conversations need to be had before.
Yes. Yes.
Because those are the types of things. Because she'd have gone, oh, there's going to be a lot of people there, and I was like, I don't like Marilyn Manson. No, I mean that would have been a short conversation because she would have hated the
I
crowd.
already knew that he wouldn't like
and
them.
you know, so but when it comes to situations where you're going, do we, don't we? The conversation needs to be had, and then a plan drawn up to go. All right, let's go for an hour. At the end of an hour, we'll touch base with each other and go
Yeah.
up, down,
Is it time to go home?
And
Yeah.
the one thing that you always, and especially as an extrovert and an introvert, that it's hard to deal with sometimes and to remember is this party's just getting started. I'm gearing up and she's gearing down,
Winding down.
and so when it's time to go, oh shit, no, we're just getting going. You know what? Go.
Well,
Whoever. I mean, but if they're both introverts, if one of you says it's time to go, go.
Yeah.
Go, because the other doesn't have the power or the energy to pull the other through.
But I like your suggestion about working in tandem.
You have to.
Yeah, because these situations can be very draining for introverts. So let's say that you are going to go out and you have to go to, I don't know, the lavanderia. Maybe introvert number one is the one who tries to speak with the vendor. I don't want to say vendor, the worker, I guess, at the lavanderia, about how much it's going to be per kilogram. When can I pick it up? That sort of thing. Maybe that's all that your mind could take that day. Okay, go home. And then maybe the next one is going to be, well, I have to go to the farmacia, and I need to ask for, tres cajas de, I don't know, lisinopril or something like that. Maybe that's all that person can handle that day. And you just take turns doing it in small doses, and don't always lean so heavy on one person to do it all the time, unless of course you have somebody who's not an introvert, and they're willing to do it all the time.
and like going back to the question before, when we go to the farmacia, I mean, we're almost always together. She starts, and she's always, and I can tell when she has reached her limit of, and then
I give him a look,
and it's like, okay,
it's the help me, pleading in my eyes.
Sabemos que la medicina necesita en el refrigerador y necesito un caja de metotrexato, and boom, and it's just let her go and go as far. And then the problem with two introverts is the other one sitting there going, well, you're doing a damn good job, just keep going, and I'm just going to sit back here, and then being put on the spot is not something introverts enjoy having occur. Because now it's, oh shit, really, you're gonna do this to me. And just remember that if you are two introverts, it's 50-50. And
just
so you
take turns.
Yeah, you have to sit there and sort of go, I need your help. Now it's not putting on the spot, it's helping your partner. And so that's a different, that request versus the, oh shit, I'm frustrated, and stepping out and going, it's all on you now. And now you're like, thanks. You're just dumping it on me. So asking for the assistance would go a long way. And then go, and if you get stuck, I'm right here to help. And it really requires the fingers meshing together, and everything has to mesh, and be cognizant, because the things that frustrate and sometimes intimidate one person, if they're an introvert, odds are they're going to also affect the other person. And so you sometimes have to sit there and go, okay, you know what? They've done a good job so far. And sometimes as simple as, you still got this? Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've gotten better doing that when we're ordering in a restaurant from a menu. Occasionally, the person who's waiting on us might throw out a long, rambly, fast, I don't know, sentence of some kind, and I don't know what they're saying. And so I might say something like Monday, or I might say, lo siento, no entiendo,
See,
something like that.
Puedes hablar un poco despacio, por
Sí.
favor. Can you just un poquito, just slow it down just a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, it's getting easier, but those are small steps. So when we go to a restaurant, I actually do take the opportunity to place my order, to request my order.
I'm a gentleman. She always orders first, and so
Yeah.
I shut up and baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But honestly, he really has been the one that's been doing this stuff with the lavanderias and things like that. A lot of times it's because I'm working.
Duh.
And he just walks it down the street.
And oh, by the way, just for everybody's edification, we said we were taking stuff to the lavanderia and going to Splash. 35 pesos per kilo. So, we have found a lot of lavanderias that were a lot less expensive than 35 pesos per kilo. So,
yeah, we don't know if that's just here.
Well, she actually, because the first time I brought it back, she was like, it was what? And then she went back and because of the app that she uses, it tracks all of our expenses in every location. She could also separate it by, lavanderias. And so the two most expensive locations for, taking our clothes to the lavanderia were both Splash franchises.
That is true. So,
in Progreso and here in San Luis Potosi. And we looked back when we were here last time, and because of where we were at, I wasn't going to walk all the way over here. There was another one that was a lot closer, and they were in the, 12, 13 peso per kilo range. So Splat, they do a great job. It's done when it says it's going to be done. And, but you're paying. It's like anything else.
More.
Quality, price, service.
You want it fast? You want it done right?
And you want it done.
Or do you want it done cheap? Pick two.
Well, you said price and cheap.
Oh,
it's quality, service, price.
You want it done fast? You want it done cheap?
If you want
it done right.
Right.
Yeah.
Pick two of the three, because you can have any two of the three. You can never get all three of them.
Yep. All those little things happen in every relationship.
Yeah.
They certainly do.
And one of the things I think that we have gotten stronger crossing the border, because we had to rely on each other, and our communication skills have gotten better because of the 24/7. And it was on us. I mean, it wasn't I'm gonna go hang with the buds down at the bar and have a few beers and I'll come home. There isn't any of that. It's us. And so
but those things, yes, they do happen in all relationships. But then when you go and take that relationship to an entirely foreign environment, now you have additional stress that you have to factor in.
Pump up the stress. Pump it up.
No, okay. You did not just go there.
Okay.
You don't even like that music. It kills me when he does stuff like that. I'm like, he knows this song?
well, how could anybody not? That was
Pump,
one of those.
Pump the jam.
It
Pump
was
it
it was
up,
everywhere.
pumping
You
it up,
couldn't
yo,
avoid
pump
it. You know, but you know, the thing is you have to find time to communicate. I mean, one of the things I'll use a YouTube example here that probably everybody knows: Heidi and Adam from Country Collectors.
From the Country Collectors, or what used to be.
Look, you know, and that whole. All right, I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. That whole bullshit episode of, oh, you're the love of my life. Da, 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 da. No, you aren't. Because if you were, your ass would have been on a plane and you've been going to where Heidi was, and you'd have said, if this is what makes you happy, then I will be here. You know, and
yeah, this was a relationship that dissolved over the fact that Heidi didn't want to travel anymore and Adam did.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's that simple.
You know, and that was just one of those that don't, you know, oh, this is a perfect opportunity to cash in because, oh, let's see, we saw Maddie and Jordan do this, and they got a shit ton full of views on that one when they announced the breakup and why and this and that. So, you know, that was, to me, that was a cash grab. But, you know, if you're gonna say that you are the love of my life, then damn it, I'm going to do everything I have in my power to make sure that that is done. Not, see ya. Yeah. I love you a lot, but I'm going to Thailand.
And you know, it's a really good example too. Not just Heidi and Adam. We're also talking about, you know, Jordan and Maddie and
Stephen and Lisa Marie. I mean, we don't really know what ever happened to them, but the tension that became at the end.
Raquel and Rick don't even know what happened to them either.
We don't know if they just decided to just drop off.
No, I know, but
I didn't see any stress in their relationship.
Maybe we didn't see it on purpose. We don't know. That's the whole point.
I mean, I can't mention them in with the others because
one can speculate that you know, the stress that pulled them apart and caused those channels to fail, that is the same stress that's hitting you in a relationship way. You know, maybe they are still together, some of them. We don't know. Well, but the stress of that channel and of this life and what the decisions they made to be here caused the channels to dissolve.
Well,
just like a relationship would.
Here's the other thing. Most of the time when you come down here, you're not used to working together. When you form a YouTube channel together, you now are put together in a business enterprise. And so it's one of those where you're going, you know, and there are things that, again, extrovert, introvert, you know, and you have to sit there and go, all right, I have this idea, but I'm only one half of the process. So in some instances, not even one half. I mean, you know, I'm the on-air talent only. And after that, it's like, okay, you know.
You're the talent.
Well, I have to give myself credit for something. You know, but that's what it is. And so you're now into another dynamic that you're going, okay, this can add stress. So.
Yep, for sure. And this I can attest to. Annie's Spanish was lower when we first moved here. Now she calls me if I try to speak for her. So now that she learned some, she wants to practice it. I didn't mind at all, but I felt bad for her. Yeah.
No, I remember.
You know what? And just as you said here too, you know, not being able to speak it or understand it well, but yet she speaks it pretty well now.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
Well, I mean, I think back to when we met them the first time. We were at 1810, and Annie was deferring to Arlene to order, you know, everything. I think of this and da 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 da, and you know, now we go out to dinner and Annie's over there going, you know, give me this, give me this, give me this, give me this, and boom, 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 and it's like, Okay, I mean,
Yep.
it's night and day. So, and thank God we had both of them when we went to the IMO for the eyeglasses,
Oh
because
my gosh.
you know,
Yeah.
boom and boom, and we were separated because they kept wanting to do more tests on hers, and I'm like, okay,
I'm special.
well, that's true.
I knew someone who played in a Gata Vida over and over. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
I remember in the sixth grade, seventh grade, I participated for 6 years in a um, program at Western Carolina University, and go up there for 6 weeks, and we do some type of study, and we would stay in the dormitory, and we had this kid. This was I had to be sixth or seventh grade, and it's just when Benny and the Jets had come out, and he played this damn 45 until the point where we were like, we're going to kill him, because oh, that was
it's a good song.
it is the first time you hear it,
Oh my. Yes, leave your politics and complaining behind. We want to be free in Mexico and be friendly with everyone. Yes.
Oh, and that's the biggest issue we had in the U.S. is that everybody seemed to gravitate red, blue, red, blue, red, blue, and they never bothered to stop and have the conversation of, I bet if you took away the label and started talking regarding issues, you would probably find that in 75 to 80% of the issues, you have common ground. It may not be the same as far as to a level of degree, but you have some footing to form a. I'll use abortion because that's the only reason abortion does not have anything done in Washington is because both parties want to use it as a campaign
ploy.
Yep. And so if you ask the American people, 75 to 80% agree that abortion should be legal in some way, shape, form. No, late term abortion, infanticide, all that. No. But, draw the line between 12, 16 weeks, and you'll have the overwhelming majority of people in the U.S. would go, but they won't do it because they got to use it every 2 years to campaign on. And it's like, you know what? Do your damn job.
Okay, we're done with that now.
I'll get off soapbox.
I took French 45 years ago, and yet it still competes with Spanish in my brain. It does, Stephanie. And I used to be, I wouldn't say really super fluent, but I was at least level 4 French. And I find what has happened in the years, having not really used it since like 1988, is I can still read it really well and I can comprehend really well, but my pronunciation is crap. And although I keep trying to throw some French words in there as I'm doing Spanish, when I do try to speak French, I'm starting to pronounce some of the French vowels in a Spanish way.
You're getting there, baby.
Yeah, but that they do say things differently. Like "tu" is not said the same way in French as it is in Spanish. In Spanish, it's "tu," but in French, it would be more like "t" or something like that. I can't remember now. It's a lot shorter.
You saying that they're a little prissy on there?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and you don't pronounce a lot of the ending letters like
Boston
S's and things like that. Well, I mean, it's just the way it is.
No,
the
I know.
Pronunciation is different, and I have found that my pronunciation now stinks in French, but I still have reading comprehension really well, and those words keep popping up when I'm trying to put something together in Spanish in my head, and that's where I struggle, honestly. Even with Spanish, I can comprehend a lot of what I read, but if you put me on the spot and I have to form a complete sentence out of the blue on the spot, I really struggle with that. quite a bit.
The biggest thing that holds her back is fear of making a mistake.
Well, I can't even think of what the words are.
I know.
Like I can't even form them.
You know, you also, because your bar is always up here.
I have a bar.
You have a bar. You know, and she's, if I can't say it correctly, and it's like that is the hardest. It honestly is. It's the hardest part to go, you know what? I'm going to screw this up. I know I'm going to screw this up. They're probably going to laugh with me at it and go, give me the correct way of saying it. But, they understand and they appreciate the effort. And it teaches me. So,
yeah. Yep. Terry, how was Merida as far as you living there? Was there in a day trip via a cruise? Okay, so living in Merida, we were there. We thought we were there for the summer, not realizing that summer actually came about a month earlier than we thought. So we caught the tail end of summer, and it did get hot, but it wasn't horrible. And we learned that most people go out and do things either early in the morning or later in the evening.
That was the first city that we encountered in Mexico where at 6 a.m. the streets were busy.
Yeah, because
every place else we'd be 6 a.m. You could walk down the center of the street and not have to worry about having cars come at you. In Merida, 6 a.m., it was bustling.
Yeah, so early morning, later evening when it's cooler. There was a lot
Love the culture.
like. There was a lot of culture to like there. Merida does a very good job of offering cultural activities every single day of the week, sometimes multiple activities on certain days of the week. And, and they do a really fine job at that. There are also some nice museums.
Well, and then you have you're there in the Yucatan. So, if archaeology is your thing, you have all the different, everything is accessible in a quick trip. I mean, you can go to Chichen Itza and be back, and you can do Chichen Itza in a day and still be back in time for dinner.
Uxmal.
Yeah. I mean, the chocolate factory.
Go to Progreso. Or one of the other beaches.
Writing on rock, because I'm not even going to attempt to say that word because it seems to me that is 3/4 Mayan and 1/4 Spanish, and it's like, no.
The food's really good. Yucatan food is just good.
It is. It's very good, and I mean,
I like that Merida is one of those places where the airport is pretty close by.
Its proximity to the city is very good.
If you are someone who needs to have that mall experience or big box experience, you will find it there. Just have to go a little north of town.
You either go to the west or the north of Merida, and both of those places, you got it. I mean, hell, we had dinner at Texas Roadhouse in Merida. I mean,
Ant.
Oh, I thought maybe I was like,
No.
bye. No.
I'm noticing them coming in, but I've got some ant spray, so I'll.
But it is, and safety wise, I don't think
pretty safe.
We have not found a place in Mexico where we felt safer. I mean, I got sick one night, the night of La Grita. Matter of fact, the night that
El Grito.
Yeah, the night that Rory was born. I got sick. I don't know what it was, and I can tell you this, folks. Throwing up in a Mexican porta-john.
TMI.
I'm just saying, it's
TMI.
No bueno. And we were maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours away from the event and occurring. And I looked at her and she's like, go home.
Yeah, he was really sick. I didn't want to miss my first El Grito, but he was sick. And I'm like, don't stay, just go home. It was like a 20-minute walk to the house, maybe 15.
Yeah, I mean.
You know what? And he did. And
I had
so,
no reservations because
you know,
we were there for 3 months, and this was probably into well into the second month.
I mean,
And
it's like 12, it's like midnight, 12:30 in the morning, and I'm walking home alone. Wasn't an issue.
no, and I get home feeling like
Yeah.
crap, and my daughter calls me and goes, "You're a grandfather."
Hmm. But
Great.
I like Merida for a lot of reasons. It is someplace I could have potentially chosen to stay, provided that we did have a place that had air conditioning for the summer months because it did get hot. My hesitation with Merida was that after that first year and a half, when we were looking at our budgets, we quickly realized that the most expensive place to live in Mexico at that time was the Yucatan Peninsula. They had the highest rate of inflation
Yeah.
at that time. So I was just like, and we have friends, you know, our one friend and subscriber Denise, her house probably has doubled in price
At least
since the time she bought it, which would have been about 4 years ago, I think now.
4 or 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
So it's like doubled in price now. And property values are getting high there. And so, it's that bubble. You would think it'll eventually pop, but,
and it was, and you know, just for full disclosure, it was the first place that we saw any signs of pushback as far as gentrification or anything like that was in Merida.
Yeah.
There was somebody was renovating a building, and there's a lot of them available, a lot of lots and a lot of houses and everything else that are available to be renovated. And somebody's doing a very nice job on this one, and somebody had broken some brand new, tinted paint windows that were full story, and it was like, and then spray painted on there, and it was like, why? And then there was also pushback on the femicide on when we did the walk.
Oh yeah, but that's
that was nationwide. I'm
Yeah.
just pointing out the things that we saw that did occur. They were reworking the one street to be a pedestrian only street. I think it was 42nd Street.
I don't remember.
That was going to be all restaurants and cafes.
The restaurant corridor.
Yeah, and we went up there, and I got to say, the food and everything else there was
very, very good.
very, very good. And anybody who wants to go eat in Merida, Las Vegas.
Las Vegas was like our favorite place. We went there numerous times, all locals, and very, very good pricing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
no, day trips are definitely not the same off those cruises because all those cultural activities that Merida puts on every day of the week, they all happen after dark.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
but I mean, road wise, one of the best cities we've driven in all of Mexico.
Oh yeah, the roads are in pretty good shape. No, it was nice. I liked it there.
And I liked being able to hear the horses walking down the street. I mean, there was a lot, but then again, where we were located, when it rained, we got, our driveway flooded. So
we got flooded a few times. Okay. So Annie, I depended a lot on Arlene when we first arrived. Now I tell her to let me explain or let me handle this too. Now I'm doing the same to Albert. Very good. And Albert's getting much better too, I bet, right?
Well, is she taking over for Albert, or is she forcing Albert to do his own?
Forcing Albert to do his own. So I was really impressed with stores in Merida. Yeah, Merida. I mean, even if you're in the Centro area, all the little shops on the streets are pretty nice.
Well, I mean, I remember when we went because we were waiting for the girls to show up with cigars. Mm-hmm. And we went down to that cigar store that was in that little mall in one of the hotels.
Yeah.
They had just like a 1-story, the hotel was stories 3 and up. And then 1, I think the ground floor was parking. And then 2 was the little mall area with the check-in. And cigar store wasn't inexpensive, but it was,
it was a nice mall.
It was a nice mall.
It was definitely geared toward the more affluent people, though. That whole mall was.
No shit.
Yeah.
That was,
Even I thought that the things in there were overpriced, but it just depends on where you want to go. Now, if you go to they have a couple of very, very, very large mercados. One of them, I believe, is the oldest one in the city, built on the platform of one of the former pyramids. We never made it to that one, but we did make it to the other one that's very nearby it, only a street or two over. Enormous mercado.
Annie Vet and Arlene went to the big one, and then they had to take the cab back because the heat was getting to them.
Mm-hmm.
And we did go to the one, and that one was, we had dinner there or lunch, sort of late afternoon.
Lunch.
Fill it in there whichever way. And that one was, we toured the mercado, and that was like,
I mean, it was a mercado.
Yeah.
The way that mercado was laid out, it was almost as if you went to a storage unit facility, and each storage unit was somebody's tienda,
including the pull down doors and everything else.
Yeah.
I mean, it was.
Yeah, but I liked Merida for the fact that there was such variety in where you could shop and how far or close the shopping would be. They have several malls.
Mhm.
It was stupid how many malls were so close to each other north of the city. Like, why are you building this mall? There's one right over here. Literally. But they had a lot of malls.
Two malls, and
Well,
the only thing that separated the two malls was the Costco in the middle.
Yeah, and one of the malls, half of the shops weren't even rented out yet.
Yeah.
Now, and I can't remember the exact details, but it was one of those things where they had started to build it right around the time COVID hit, and the intention of that mall was to serve a specific group of people.
Well, I mean,
that was going to be nearby, and that project wasn't done yet.
The primary expat enclave is to the north of the city. That is where, there's a lot of condominiums and things like that are on that north side of the city, but just outside that beltway heading up towards Progreso, and that's sort of where it's sort of like Zibatan, Zakia, and El Refugio and Urquiza are in Querétaro.
Yes.
Where that's where the majority of the expats tend to land up there.
Oh gosh, here we go. That's right. Come on. The beautiful people. The beautiful people. Oh, the beautiful people. Okay. I did want to go, but when I thought about how many
Marilyn Manson just brings back memories of karaoke, because I think a couple of times I ended up with Marilyn Manson.
I think you did. And
I know I ended up with Tainted Love, and I did it in the version of Soft Cell instead of
Marilyn.
Yes.
I'm so sorry. I like Marilyn Manson's cover of Tainted Love. Sweet Dreams. Personal Jesus. Yes. God, there's another one too. Oh, I can't think of it right now. Industrial goth rock type stuff. I liked him for what he was. He's a performer, and I thought it'd be cool to see him. I just could not deal with that crowd. And when I found out that it was 205,000 people trying to watch this little stage.
And that's half of the crowd that's there at the fair.
That's like, no, that was too many for me. Too much. That's overload. That's introvert overload. Right through. It came at the right time. Introvert couples in Mexico. That's right. Pump up the stress. Right, Arlene? Couldn't understand that either. If Annie wanted to go to the States and leave, I love Mexico, but I love her more. Confusing to me too. Yeah. Yeah.
To me, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
If she went, I'm moving to New York City. Ain't high on my list, but if she was like, I'm going.
And that's exactly it.
Guess what? So am I.
I don't even think that video's up anymore. I think he took it down, and I never actually got to see it. I just remember that the two of them were crying and holding each other, and oh, I
No,
love
they
you
were
so
no, because she was
much,
already in Michigan and his ass was still in
or something.
Mexico,
I mean, and oh,
and
I
it was
love you so much.
the
Okay,
love of my life. I mean,
bullshit, bullshit. Do you think that I would stay in a foreign country when the love of my life went somewhere else? No, I would follow the love of my life. I'm just saying. But yeah, yeah, Cindy, I'm still ticked at Adam for the breakup. Yeah,
well, my whole take on that is Heidi came out ahead. Because if he really loved her, that would be it. It'd be like, okay,
yep,
and,
yep.
and she wasn't as important. She was not as important as he was, and that okay. Nobody. I'm a firm believer. Nobody loves you until you love yourself. But when you find the right person, that person fills in every void that you have, and that completes you. And so, no,
You complete me.
that is, you had me at hello. But that's one of those things where you go, hold on, do I want to go back to being half a person? Even though I like that person, I'd rather be the whole person than the half person. So, nah, that was bullshit.
Oh Lord.
And if you're watching, Adam, I don't care.
He's not watching
I
us.
know.
I promise you.
Hola, Tommy.
Listening to us in Bluetooth. Oh goodness. I don't. How does that sound? You had to stop for a beer too?
No, I had to stop for beer, so when he got home, he could pop the top.
Okay.
He's either out of wine or tonight was a cerveza night.
That's right. That's right. And Bruno, you are so right. It's exactly it. You get it good, fast, or cheap.
Now, I used to tell people that I was a sales manager for a company, and they start bitching. I have customers that go, well, I want this at this price because your competitors over here. I said, do you want, good customer service and cheap price? You're going to get crap quality. I said, I'm not giving you crap quality. I'm going to give you great service.
There you go.
So you're going to have to pay a little more. So.
Tell it like it is, baby. So no, we are not in Ahihique now. That is not for, oh gosh,
2 months.
About
almost 2 months from now.
Almost 2 months. Yeah.
We're still deciding when we are going to be returning to Querétaro. We know one thing, that it will be by the end of the month, because we want 2 weeks to get ready to go back to the States. And it's one of those where it's like, okay, so by the end of the month, we'll be back in Querétaro, and maybe sooner, don't know. It's
debatable.
If I keep taking Navy showers, it may be faster. So I'm
not really complaining about where we are right now, except for the fact that for some strange freaking reason, we can't seem to get through a single shower without the hot water running out. And it wasn't like that the first couple weeks we were here.
Nope.
We could get a full-on shower and have hot water. But for some reason, the last 2 to 3 weeks, the hot water is out by the time I try to rinse the soap out of my hair. And it's no fun having to rinse off everything else in cold water.
Just to give you guys an idea of what I tried to do today, just to avoid, so I could have hot water for a shower. We have a whirlpool tub, not a jacuzzi, just one of those whirlpool tubs in our bathroom along with a shower stall. So I had the bright idea, because it always seems that no matter what spigot you open, you get some hot water.
You could be down here in the kitchen.
And so I was like,
I'll be like, I ran out of hot water in the shower. And he's like, well, I've got it down here.
And I was like, you know what? I'm going to get my hair wet, beard wet and everything, with sticking my head underneath the spigot in the tub. Got the shampoo and all, get it all up. Well, turn it back on. I've got my eyes closed now because I got soap all over the place and couldn't find a damn spigot. And I'm finally getting underneath there, and then cold water. So then it's get the majority out, get out of my eyes, get in the shower, turn it on. I get about 2 minutes worth of warm water, and
it's out. And this morning, like I said, I got my hair sudsed up, and now it's cold water. So he had the idea last night. Why don't you try going to a different shower?
We got 3.
And see if the water runs out and runs cold in this shower. Because I wondered if it was the handle, if there was something going on.
It doesn't make any logical sense.
So then I'm dripping wet, got soap starting to come down in my eyes from my hair, and I'm waddling through our bedroom to another shower in another bathroom. And I turned it on, and I had just enough hot water to get the soap out of my hair and get rinsed off.
Well, see, then you could have run down the stairs, back up the stairs,
go to the
other shower.
I don't get it.
Then you could have had enough warm water, maybe, to wash the pits and everything else, and be like, okay, no, I can't wait to get home.
Yeah, I know.
When I get home, the first hour I may spend in the shower.
I thought it was an on-demand water heater.
We don't know what it's going on.
We don't know what's going on, and we were warned that when it's really windy, sometimes the pilot can get
and that has occurred.
And,
and I have relit it and relit it and relit it. So
it's a little nuts. We'll see. Speaking
no
of
shit,
stress,
when it's cold water, it's a little nuts.
Pump the stress. Besides moving to a foreign country, starting a YouTube channel has to ratchet it up a notch or two. I think so. I know.
Actually, I would say yes, but the biggest thing with the YouTube channel was all of you, because of our particular circumstances, having to put the boy down. You guys walked us through all that, and that really kept things going for us, and it gave us something to focus on instead of going, okay, so, for that, thank you, because that really, you guys really did.
But we weren't in a foreign country yet.
No, we weren't. But so I mean, but that's just sort of, yeah.
I think that's what really illustrates that quite well would be, for example, like Jordan and Maddie. Maddie would do the edits, and I really don't know what Jordan would do.
He damn sure wasn't the on-air talent.
I mean, Maddie would do all the editing. Now, they got to the point where they couldn't agree on whether they could hire somebody to do the editing. And they couldn't agree on essentially some of the content to a certain point. So, maybe, we don't know, we can only speculate. Maybe by that time they were already having relationship issues, and this just spilled into
I think that had been building for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, that was.
So, yeah, that does add to it, and so now you're not only in that relationship, but you're also in like this business partnership, and you can't agree on how to run it.
Well, I do remember one of the things is that Jordan was really big on using an outside editor.
He did want to use an editor.
Yeah.
I remember that.
And that was like, and I get it, especially, I mean, let's be for real. We are not in Tangerine Travel's, stratosphere. I mean, when they were dropping videos, 250, 300,000 views. So paying $200-$300 to have somebody do the edit, to me, it is like, duh, whatever it takes to keep one dropping out a week, because even at $100,000, guess what? Or 100,000 views, you paid for the editing. So,
that's true. But that's just one example of it.
I know.
YouTube in it can be a little stressful. Fortunately, I'm lucky in the fact that he does the majority of the YouTube comment responses and things like that. He keeps up on that. He doesn't really access the email. So we do get, through our website, we do get form email messages. and he doesn't really access that account in that way. So I do still get the responsibility of dealing with the occasional email message, and then anything that's posted on Instagram or Facebook kind of falls on me too, because
I don't do it.
he doesn't do those. And sometimes they don't get answered in a while because I just simply don't have the time these days. And that's unfortunate.
Hence, if you want a quick response, drop it down here on YouTube and I will get to you.
That is
Otherwise,
true. That is true. It is probably.
It could be going to sit for a while.
It's probably going to be much more timely if Mark gets to it than me. So true. Oh my God, the chocolate factory place in Uxmal. Oh my God, yes.
Just be careful when you're walking underneath the monkey ramp.
The monkey.
The bridge.
The monkey. Oh my God. Don't let them throw the poop at you.
Yeah. Yeah. That's one of those where you sort of got to go. Time
it was good.
Time it. All right.
If you guys aren't aware, is it called Chocolate Factory?
Yes.
Yeah. That's an international company.
It's in Europe. I mean, Belgium.
Many
and
France major
and,
cities have a chocolate factory, and I believe there are three.
I think there's
in Mexico.
One's in Valladolid.
Yes,
because it was right around the corner from the restaurant we ate at, right there across from the Centro Square. Then one was in Uxmal.
I can't remember. Where
and the third one I think was in Mexico City.
Maybe, but they're all a little wee bit different.
Oh yeah, the one in Valladolid is very different.
But in particular, with regard to the Mexican ones, they are trying to tell the story of the history and significance, the cultural significance.
There wouldn't be chocolate in France.
Cacao, and how they used it almost like currency and stuff like that. Now, the ones that are in the European cities, they're probably focusing more on how they developed chocolate into things
that came from the New World.
Right. But the ones in Mexico are very focused on the religious, cultural, and economic significance of cacao. And particularly the one in Uxmal, they will walk you through how they would grind the cacao beans and make the cocoa.
And then you get to have that.
You get to have it. And I mean, it's full on fat. Like you get all of the cocoa butter and everything that goes into the actual real cocoa, and you can add spices to it if you want. If you want to add some kind of chili pepper powder and things. It's really very good, though. It was fascinating.
Well, and if you're going to go see Uxmal, which we were sort of blown away by Uxmal because the fact the gnome built that in a day. Mayan legend is that Uxmal was built in a day by a gnome or
like a
dwarf
little dwarf magician.
And it is expansive. It's probably every bit as big with the land that it covers. Probably almost as big as Chichen Itza, though they keep expanding Chichen Itza. But it's the only one that I think we've encountered in the Yucatan that was on a hill.
Oh, yeah. I never thought of the Yucatan having hills, but it is actually on a very small, low-grade hill. And they have an issue with water because... the Yucatan doesn't have natural rivers. They have cenotes. And with it being elevated and on a hill, the water is running away. It's away.
Yeah, that's just, it's like, okay. But then it's, and literally you come out of Uxmal and maybe 75 meters up the road on the right is the chocolate factory.
Yeah, across the street. It was cool.
Yeah.
And it's also a nature preserve and an animal sanctuary. They rescue, injured cats and monkeys and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. And they have really cool native plants. They have them all labeled and everything quite well. So it's pretty cool. And then there's there is a ceremony that you can sit and watch where these guys will play their instruments and drums
and then they prove Pavlov's theory with the koi at the very beginning because you don't even have to have food. All you have to do is walk, and all the koi follow you en masse as you're walking along because the walkways on both sides of this small pond. And, if there's a person up there, they're going along because they do not want to miss, feed me. Feed me, Seymour.
Oh, excuse me. Fear of language mistakes is now real. After making the mistake of mixing up pierna and pechuga when asking for deep massage on the beach in Cozumel.
Well, it depends. Which do they choose?
And?
I'm just saying.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Bruno, Merda wouldn't work for my wife. She doesn't function until after 9 a.m. unless she's flying to Mexico. It gets very, very hot.
It gets warm.
Especially in the summer, in the middle of the day. For sure. I remember when we were doing Riviera Maya vacations and people were telling us, I'm from Merida. It's very hot there. Yeah.
Yeah, the staff was like, muy caliente. And is it hotter in Merida than it is in Riviera Maya? Yes.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, because
there's no breeze.
Well, you don't get that ocean breeze.
Right. Huatuco's hotter.
And Veracruz blows them both away. I mean, Veracruz was just brutal. That was hot.
Dogs barking. Okay. No, Jenny, we do not have a solar water heater. We do have a gas heater that does have a pilot light on very, very, very windy days. If we can actually hear the wind, there's a good chance that we have to go up and relight it. Maybe it's just that it's just a small heater. But the thing I don't understand is with the first couple of weeks we were here, this was not an issue. We could take a reasonably long, I don't want to say super long, but we could get a good shower.
You could get a 10-minute shower and have hot water through the entire time and have time to shampoo, wash and then do a couple minutes of, oh, this feels good. And then, okay, time to get out.
And it was actually cooler at night during that period because we got here right toward the end of rainy season and it really did chill at night. Like it was cold down here where we're sitting in the evenings. And so I don't even think that it was trying to heat up really super cold water at the time. It stayed hot. But now rainy season's over.
It starts hot.
And it's not that cool at night like it used to be. In fact, we actually do get hot at night, even with the air on at night. So I don't know why the water starts hot and gets cold within 2 minutes easily. Like I have just enough hot water to get soap in my hair, and then it was out. And I'm like, you got to be joking.
About ready to go to the auto moteles and take a good warm shower.
And the dumb thing is that why going to another shower? Why is there hot water there
for the first
couple of minutes? Why, if I come downstairs and get to the kitchen sink and turn water on, there's hot water there? I don't understand it.
It's
very weird.
Illogical.
It is illogical. All right. I'm more of a night owl. Annie lately has been 1, 2, but she still wakes up early all by herself without an alarm. Yes, she is an early bird. Mm-hmm. She's an early riser. She always has coffee ready in the morning, right? Always. And here pets are family members and you grieve when they're gone. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
I still miss my boy, my bandit. I miss him a lot. And would y'all recommend starting a YouTube channel? I'm thinking of starting a comedy one as my retirement job, but it seems oversaturated. Well, Jesse,
All it takes is finding a niche. That literally
yeah,
is it. I mean,
and to have realistic expectations of like,
oh,
don't think that it's going to grow really fast and super overnight. Don't think that your videos are going to be perfect and fantastic when you first start, because they won't be.
you need the first 100 videos literally just to figure out what you're doing. I mean, and we look at our early videos and we go, oh God, did we suck? I mean,
Wow.
we didn't have good lighting. We were stiff. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that the content that we were trying to distribute was bad.
We talk too much.
You know, well, shit, we still do.
No, but I mean, my edits were too long. There's a lot of stuff I could have trimmed about half the amount of stuff we had. And,
you know, but it's one of those that finding your niche and finding your groove on camera and everything else. And you know, I used every time she could do the edit, she'd go, "Would you start looking at the damn camera?" Because
you'd be over here.
I'd be, you know, and so it's learning the little nuances and going, ooh, this wasn't good, or ooh, that one worked. And then you have the software of trying to figure out, oh, am I going to use Premiere? Am I going to use this? What am I going to use for
Canva?
You know,
yeah.
What are you going to use for music? Are you going to put music in there? It's you know, every channel, because and here's the thing, it really doesn't matter. And I can't remember who it was that told us that, but it really doesn't matter because you got to get 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 hours of views, and
I don't remember.
I can't remember what the other one is to get monetized. And so it's like, oh, we're at 100 videos, and it was like, yeah, we're not monetized yet, and we were getting close. But that's one of those things. Okay, you know, but if they really suck at the beginning, you're not going to get close. But they are. It's going to be rough.
You know, I like doing it. It's just that my time has just been so sucked up by this job that I haven't been able to really get a whole lot done. I did go through and clean up some house the last couple of days. And one of the things I noticed, and it's interesting to bring this up, we had done a video early on our favorite YouTubers.
Mm-hmm.
I think less than half of those people still have a channel today. People start this, and then
1, 2, 3,
less than half of them are gone. You know,
well, I think four out of the 10 are gone.
It's more than that. And or they just aren't active anymore.
Okay.
So it's at least half of them are gone, and it's one of those things where you really have to like doing it. You really have to like doing it, because it does become almost a second job.
And not almost, well, it does. I mean,
and if you don't like doing it, then you're going to get tired of doing it, and then that's why these channels just vanish.
The other part of it becomes twofold. One, you start getting, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Deep into your life here in Mexico, where suddenly you're getting more immersed in it. That's the word I was looking for. Immersed in your life, and that is magical in its own way. And you're like, oh yeah, this is so much fun, and this and that. And number two, you start to run out of ideas. You know, you start to go, okay, what are we going to talk about, or what do we want to do a video on? And we have a whole list of ones that we still have to do. So I mean, it's not like we're going, oh God, no. But you know, I get it. In some people, I think if you're creatively challenged, could be very problematic after a certain point to go, oh shit, we already did that. Or we did this. Now what are we going to, I mean, it just, fortunately, neither one of us have a problem with coming up with ideas. Some of them suck sometimes where I get told, really? What are you thinking? Hey, I'm just throwing shit out there, see what sticks against the wall.
Yeah, well, and then some of us have a whole bunch of material that they just need to get around
I
pulling together.
wasn't going there.
I know. Jenny, okay, you're off to class. You're probably already gone. But thanks for being here tonight. And Bruno, I did Puerto Morelos in August, spent a lot of time in the pool, only went out in the evenings. Yeah, I can see that.
Well, that's me when I go to Puerto Morelos. I spend a lot of time in the pool.
Do you know?
All day long.
At the swim up bar.
At the swim up bar.
Here. Is there an answer? Because the hot water is in the pipes. Yeah, but it doesn't.
But what's making it hot? That's the whole.
If it's run out of hot water and I move to a different place in the house that I haven't been running the hot water yet, how does it have hot water? It has to pull the hot water into those pipes. If the water is now no longer hot coming from
it will
the
cool
heater,
over time.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make sense to me.
The logic is just like, okay.
It's weird.
It is.
It's just weird. Can you tell that maybe we're almost ready to come back to home now? There's a little bit of frustration there. Cindy. Buenas noches, todos. Thank you for coming, Cindy. And the bestest can relate to that statement about it takes time. Yeah, for sure.
It does. And
when you lose the pet.
That's just not sure if one part of me goes, never want another dog again because couldn't replace that one. I mean, that's my mentality on that. So
yeah,
not to mention the fact that when you're moving around as much as we are, we couldn't do that anyway.
No, I know. But, one Airbnb I stayed at in Mexico had one of those electric shower heads. Was terrified that I would be electrocuted. Oh, in the future I will.
Yeah, that's sort of
outside during. Wow, electric shower head.
I don't know if
I've never experienced that.
Can I put a toaster in down by the drain and plug it in as well and just really?
Oh gosh. Yeah, we laughed at our first couple. Oh man, some of the ones that we did at the beginning are just painful. They're painful. They're embarrassingly painful to watch.
And we thought we were good.
We knew we would be getting better with each one we did, but
we didn't realize how bad we were until
I actually deleted one while I was cleaning up house. Like, we don't need this one out here anymore. We're happy that you still enjoy putting out videos and live streams. I get to live my life in Mexico vicariously through you guys. Well, that's awesome, Bruno. Thank you. You need to do it for real. Willie, we're waiting for you in Querétaro.
All she got to do is say the word.
I know. There's things I still want to do in San Luis. And that was the big thing is last time we were in San Luis, I didn't get to do a lot of these things. We've been to 4 museums now. I think there might only be one other museum I'd like to see, and that's the one that's in the old prison. Yep. Maybe. I need to think about that. But hey, Deborah. I'm late getting here, but guess what? I leave Friday for Querétaro. Congratulations. I think you'll love it there. I think Querétaro really is surprising for a lot of people because it's just one of those places where they just have all these little itty bitty like jardins, and they're all just around the corner and down a block or two. It's like one after another, after another, after another. San Luis has this park here, Tangamanga. It is the second largest green space park in Mexico, the largest one being in Mexico City.
Mm-hmm.
It is larger than Central Park in New York.
By 20%.
It's got a lake, it's got a pond, Japanese garden, botanical garden, lots of areas for children to play, picnic areas, ballpark areas.
Oh, I mean, it's
huge.
Yeah.
And I wanted to go last time and we didn't get a chance to. So that was like high on my list, and we went. And I got to fly the drone a little bit, and
till it almost came down the lake.
Oh my gosh. All right, so I flew the drone over top of the Labyrinth Museum, and I should have swapped out batteries, and I did not. And we get down to the lake, and I try to fly the drone again. Oh, no, turn that back on. Thank you. No, turn that back on. So I get down to the lake, and it gets up, and I start going out over the lake. And next thing you know, I have emergency battery warning. And it immediately goes into auto return. Well, what this drone does, and I'm going to have to change these settings, is when it's on auto return, it goes up. And I don't like that. It doesn't need to go up. Just come back. And now I don't know. I'm looking at the screen trying to figure out where I am, because I would have known while I was flying it, but now it has decided to go up, spin around, and I don't know where it's oriented to. And I'm in a panic mode because it's like emergency battery landing. And I'm like, where the hell are you going to land? You aren't going to land in the water. So I'm doing the best I can to take over control and get it over land. But at the same time, I don't know where it is over land. Finally, I could hear it. I could barely hear it. And I'm looking around and I saw it. And it was about 50 feet away from me across the street. And it landed, and I was able to go retrieve it. But that's a panic I never want to have. I'm so glad I wasn't like out over the water and it just said, nope, coming down now. That would have sucked. And I love to make YouTube videos, but it's a lot of work. It is. What? Why?
I'm just trying to get us we're still a little lost.
Okay. It is a lot of work, and people don't really realize it. They think it's just as simple as just turning on a camera, saying what you need to say, and turning off the camera and uploading it. But it's not, because sometimes you have to record yourself saying what you were going to say over and over and over again between all the mistakes. You misspoke, you stumbled over something. Maybe you forgot to say something you wanted to say. Maybe you said too much and you need to trim it out a little bit. And then you got to edit, put it together. Was the lighting good? Was the sound good, etc.? So yeah, it is a lot of work. And for me, a video could easily take 20 hours. It has taken longer, depending on how complicated it was. Now, a straight shot of Mark sitting just saying something for 5 minutes, that might take me 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty straightforward, there's not B-roll footage to drop in. It's sort of a, let's have a one-on-one conversation, bing, bang, boom, 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 go, done.
The on-demand hot water heater isn't working on demand and needs some service. I think it's on demand. It's not really big. So I do think it's on demand. And you're probably right. We had no issue with the water quantity when we first got here. But now it's lasting about 2.5 minutes, and then it's cold. So.
And I've had to climb the stairs of death several times to make sure it's lit. And relight it.
Yep. Hey, Willie, are you going to sing? You mean sing, right? Because little Willie won't go home.
I'm not sure about that one.
You can't touch Willie round, Willie won't go. I do like that song.
Sweet.
Yes. Oh, wait. Okay. Willie's asking if she's coming. Tom, think that one over.
I'm just,
Think that one over.
you know, it's like,
Trying to tell everybody, but oh no.
well, I don't know anybody who refers to it as little. That's just,
Things are bouncing. So is SLP still on the list, or are you jaded from cold showers? I think it's safe to say that Querétaro has beaten San Luis. Although
Well-
I do like it here. I do like it here. There's a lot to like about the city.
it's, I think for both of us, it's always been
It's been very high.
SLP, and then I think we sort of
We start the very
differ
yeah.
when it gets to number 3 on the list, because my number 3 would not be your number 3, because your number 3 would be Puebla, and my number 3 would be Huatulco. So I mean,
yeah, that's probably true. Wait,
probably, I know. I mean, it's
what is it about San Luis right now that it's ranking a little under Querétaro for us? You know, that would be the airport is easier to access in San Luis.
oh my God, yes,
That's a plus.
Yes, that's a
Querétaro's
plus.
airport is out in the boonies.
It's halfway to Guerrero. I mean,
the traffic in San Luis is easier to tolerate than the traffic in Querétaro.
except for maybe Spaghetti Junction. Other than that,
yeah.
that was, yeah.
So, I mean, those two things are definitely better.
Sidewalks.
The sidewalks are wider.
I mean,
and easier to walk in general. I like the charm of Querétaro's Centro Historical area.
they're very different.
I like it here too, but they are very different.
You know, this is very French.
It's very French influenced.
I mean, and
for sure.
not overly. I mean, not like, oh, no. I mean, the architecture.
At the time,
and what is unique in San Luis Potosí than Querétaro is you can go one block in Centro and SLP, and suddenly there's modern buildings. And then you go another block, and it's very old. And in Querétaro, in Centro, it's very old all the way around, you know, Centro. So it's a different feel in the Centros. SLP is almost like a lollipop. You have a Centro up here, then you have a long walkway that goes down to the cathedral, and then there's things that go on the sides. Querétaro is very broken up with Jardín, wiggle down a street, another Jardín, wiggle down a street, another Jardín, and it's just a different feel. I mean, that's
just different feels. The one thing I do not like in San Luis, over top of Querétaro, is the prevalence of drivers laying on their horns, and they do here considerably. People are very impatient. If the light has literally just turned green, your ass better be moving, or you're going to get somebody honking at you. Now, nobody does the shave and a haircut thing, which is supposed to be extremely offensive. I have not heard that being done here. But I'll give you an example. We hear horns all day long on this street next to us because there's a traffic light about one building up.
Well, and we are also half a block away from Carranza, which is a major thoroughfare going to Centro. And so
there's a lot of traffic. So we do off and on throughout the day, we'll hear people honking horns on this road right past our house because obviously somebody's not moving fast enough through that intersection. Well, yesterday, Mark went to lay down and horns started going. I was at the computer and it was just a few. and then it was several. And it was just on and on and on. And I was like, what the heck? I got up and I went outside to look and see what the ruckus was. Well, a car at the traffic light with its door wide open and no driver in it had blocked up all the traffic for a block and a half up this street. And everybody in it was laying on their horns.
And this street is popular for several reasons. We have basically a little mini strip mall right across. That's a vertical strip mall with like 4 or 5 stores, then goes up a level, and 4 or 5 stores up a level. And it's got a wing stop and has a parking deck down below. And we also have about, I don't know, 4 or 5 restaurants on this street. And then there's a motorcycle repair shop right on the other side of us. So people are always looking for a place to park. Mm-hmm. And parking on this street is problematic. And it can be tight, and it can take a while, so it'll back them up. So people start laying on the horns because people are doing their best, but it's tight to get in. And so we'll hear that. And it's just... They
just really like to honk their horns here.
Yeah.
And we knew that last time too.
Yeah,
we heard it last time too. So it's just kind of funny because we've been a lot of places in Mexico where you never hear the horns, but you hear them in San Luis.
What I haven't heard this time,
what's that?
That I heard last time we were in SLP, was when the police went by, they had that unique little whistle sound that the cop cars, the policia would make, and have not heard that same whistle here. And we were on the other side of Jardín de Tequisquiapan, and it's like, wow, okay, just don't know if that's something they do.
So let's see. Excuse me.
And the churros are still.
The churros are the best we've had anywhere. So which is more walkable? I'm going to say here. I think San Luis is more walkable.
I would agree, and the reason being, even though it's higher in elevation, it's flatter.
It's flatter.
When you go to the Centro in Querétaro, it's up and down. I mean, there's hills. You'll
little
encounter.
Ones.
Yeah. No, but you walk here, it's pretty flat. I mean, you can walk here to Centro, and it's pretty much on one level.
Yeah. The sidewalks are wide on the main streets, and that makes it easier and more walkable as well. They have more, I want to say that there's more pedestrian-only streets in Centro as well, which is very nice.
Probably similar to Pueblo.
Yeah.
I mean, Pueblo had a lot of them as well.
Yeah. I just think they just have more space, and that extra space that they have is much more conducive to easier walking and getting about in general. Now, I think they lack a little bit in the Jardines. Maybe they have as many, but they are spread further apart. So, like,
what, in Centro?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you're in Querétaro, you have Jardín after Jardín after Jardín. You just have to walk a couple blocks to get to each one.
Oh yeah. I mean, they're close.
They're all around. They're very close. And a lot of times the route that you're taking to walk between them is often a pedestrian only, but not always. Here in San Luis, the Jardines are very pretty and they're very nice, but they are spread much further apart, just like everything here is. So, the buildings, the reason you have all this extra footpath space is because everything is spread further apart. And that's why they have the room to make the sidewalks wider and things like that. So I do think this is a more easily walkable city.
It's almost as if SLP, and I could be totally wet on this, which wouldn't be the first time in my life. SLP was a newer city that had designed itself for space, whereas Querétaro in the central area, Querétaro just was one of those that we don't want to be too far because we're walking everywhere. And so from when it started and everybody was walking, it was tighter. And then it just continued to grow out.
I don't know if you remember this from our statues tour in Querétaro, but Querétaro, if you look at a map of the streets,
I remember that part. Yeah.
You will see that some of the streets are irregular and at odd angles, and then some of the streets are on a grid. And Querétaro pretty much left the indigenous streets as they were, and then the Spaniards did the grid builds on the newer streets. And so everything was kind of right there compacted together. It's just a matter of how they organized them. Now, think about that. So we're talking about the Spaniards coming in, so about 500 years ago, roughly. And yeah, I could be off a little bit by 50 years or so, but it's about that time. Now, the reason why there's so much French influence in San Luis Potosí is because it was during a period of, I'm so happy that I know this history now. It was during a period of time when the Spanish had already been here, and there was a strong desire and a love of French architecture and Greek architecture and statues. So a lot of the cities, when they were developing, they were pulling in French influence and Greek statuary. And so a lot of these buildings are newer. And as he was saying, so as they planned the grid, they had more space and they planned these at a later time. Whereas Querétaro, I believe, is probably older in that way. Yes.
Yeah, I think that's just was Querétaro is built on convenience because we don't want to have to walk any further than we had to, and no point in wasting the space. We can get a horse and wagon down here, and we're good to go. And I think that SLP was built with more of a long-term plan, and later and went, okay, let's put a grid in, put some extra space.
I'll have to go back and double check my theory on that, but. Yeah, I do recall even when we were touring some things in Centro in Querétaro about how there was a very strong desire for all things French at some point, much later, long after the Spaniards had already been in the country for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So for sure, that French influence in San Luis, even the name San Luis, it's French influence, and it has everything to do with King Louis.
Yeah.
France. So
go up to
here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That is one of the reasons we did this entire thing the way we set it out, Deborah, was so that exactly what you're saying there. We could not figure out it sitting on our couch in Asheville, North Carolina, going, that's the city. How do we know? We haven't been there. And even if we've been there, we haven't been there. I mean, like for a month or 2 months to get a feel, which is why we did it the way we did it. Cause we wanted to go, this, love the vibe, traffic sucks, but this is good. I mean, so you don't get a feel for all of that till you've been in the city for a while. And, that's, you making a decision by the end of the year, beginning of next year. Hopefully, Deborah, we will see you in Ahihic, for the meet and greet.
Yeah.
Super Bowl weekend. I think that's February 7th, if memory serves me right, in Ahihic, and you can fill us in on how it all goes. Or if you're still, the thing is, just because you get down here doesn't mean that you can't change. We know a lot of people who have started one place in Mexico and then ended up someplace else. So
that is true.
Yeah. I know several people who started out in Riviera Maya because they knew Riviera Maya from vacationing there. And, Aventuras, Morelos, and then went, oh, no. I know one couple that ended up in Querétaro going, nope.
All right. Sing it with me now, Suzanne. Try to tell everybody, but oh no, little Willie won't go home. You got to put 3 beats in there. I love that part because it messes everybody up. Oh, let's see.
Sweet's underappreciated band.
They are underappreciated.
One of the founders of glam rock. I mean,
I heard the buses beat the USA hands down.
Oh, good God, yeah.
I don't mind traveling, so I'm going to give it a try. Yes, and we have not yet taken a bus, but we have also heard the same things.
All right. You got Tom on here. You got Annie, Bette, and Arlene on here. They've done buses. Tom's done buses. I do know that you can go to Truly Remarkable Life in Mexico. KJ and Craig, they did a whole video for last year of going up to the meet and greet in San Miguel, and they took the bus and had a great time. So,
yep. I'm looking forward to doing it. I want to take a bus trip out to Mexico City and do the Frida house. That's definitely on my wants.
Well, if it takes a little even longer, we'll be able to take the train. So
that's true. Don't like sirens, police, ambulances, fire trucks anywhere in the world. But Tom, these horns, man, the horns.
I tell you what, Tommy, come see us in Balvanera. You don't hear anything. It's like, wow.
Let's see, if traffic is a frustration for you when you're in Ajijic, plan on parking your car and renting electric bikes. The best sidewalks in Ajijic is a bike path or a golf cart. Yeah, we've heard that. We have heard that. And
well, when you got one road and they keep adding people and they can't widen the road, that's what happens.
Yep. Here in Puerto Vallarta, when the locals are at light because they know the timing of the light and honk before it even changes. Okay, so they've got the San Luis thing going on there in Puerto Vallarta then too, because they know.
And God help them if they ever get to Pittsburgh, because in Pittsburgh they have a different way of doing it, whereas everybody waits because if somebody's turning left, they're
going to jump.
They let one car turn left before they begin to go. And so it's sort of the unwritten rule in Pittsburgh that, if you're sitting there ready to go and you see somebody's turning left, you pause long enough for them to make their left turn, and then you go. So
I don't think that happens here.
No.
The ETN buses, the double deckers, are nicer than most airplane first class cabins, hands down. I believe that. You probably have a whole lot more room in your seat, and they're probably extremely comfortable. So, especially since lately, all the flights we've been taking, it feels like we're just on a Greyhound bus in the sky.
And that's first class.
I know. It's even worse when you're not. It's terrible, right?
There you go.
Right there. The streets in Querétaro sound like the streets in Boston.
It's sort of that way.
Boston's an old town. The center of Philly is kind of like that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Querétaro is a city around town.
Yes, it is.
I mean, that's the best way of describing it. It is a city that is surrounding a town, because the town being Centro, and that's all nice and different and everything else. And you drive 3 blocks out of Centro and you're in a city. I mean, Centro Sur, heading over to Milenio where Willie is, heading down south to Pueblito, north up to El Refugio. It just, you don't have to go very far. Once you get north of the Arcos, it's like, boom, it's city. So,
and Willie's like, we have a Neptune statue. Does that count? Yes, it does, Willie.
Yeah.
Because at the time that Neptune statue was put there, that was right around the same time that this big French influence in architecture had come in, but there was also this gravitation toward Greek and Roman gods and figures. So yeah, I mean, it's all in that. I don't know what to call it. I don't know what the time would be. Would that be Regency period?
I don't know.
Would that be? I can't think timeline wise,
but the interesting part of it is that city wise, comparing the two is, I think it's age. I really do. I think the age here is much less, and much less could be 100 years, but it just feels different here than in Centro Querétaro. It's just,
yeah, and there, and this is pretty much what it comes down to. It makes sense. Querétaro is Spanish influenced, and San Luis Potosí is French influenced with the wide boulevards. Yep.
that makes totally logical sense.
Yep, it does. You know, and that wide boulevard, that's also in Merida. And it's interesting because that was right at the beginning of their boom in, what was it called? Was it Heineken? What was it called?
I don't know. I was drinking Heineken.
No. Anyway, the agave that they used to make.
Yes.
The
$500 shirts.
Yeah, the fiber
Yeah.
they used to make.
Because they only work in
textiles
caves with little kids with little hands.
And so during that boom, a lot of the houses that are on Paseo Montejo,
See?
yeah, that boulevard was purposefully designed to resemble the Champs-Élysées
Yep.
in Paris. And those houses were mostly built in the very late 1800s up to about 1920. But there was intention of making a French style boulevard.
And they have the statues going down the center on the median and everything else. And the prices for those houses, well, most of them now are either businesses or museums. But, they have some stunning houses in Merida.
Let's see. My place at Querétaro was doing my tour with Lee.
Romy.
And Romy. Romy.
Yep.
Romy. Yeah. They both are extremely kind and conscientious people.
The best part, Deb, is this. You're going to go do the Colonia tour with them, but you're going to make two friends for life.
For sure.
Because Liz and Romy, two of the best people that we know. And, we were never even a customer of theirs when we came down here, and we met them for breakfast because of a common acquaintance. And it was one of those things, we sat down, we had breakfast with them, and get them to take you to La Mariscopa for breakfast. You won't regret it. And get divorced enchiladas. But we had breakfast with them, and we felt like we had known them our entire life.
But most importantly, as a customer of theirs, I want to guarantee to you that they will treat you.
Oh, yeah.
So well. They're extremely professional, but they're also very, very invested in their customers. And you will get
they take it
the
personally.
Best service with them. Yeah, for sure. So I'm so glad that you have them. Let's see. Hey, hola, Greg. It drives me crazy that 99% of Playa del Carmen has been built in the past 30 years, and yet it has 3-foot wide sidewalks with lots of obstacles. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and you would think that they would sort of go, wow, hold on, we have a Malecon, and we have Malecons all through Mexico, and people enjoy walking on them. Let's make our sidewalks more like a Malecon.
Well, I mean, even in La Quinta, I mean, they could have made the sidewalks a little wider, the street a little wider. I mean, I guess in that case, it's foot traffic anyway. Cars aren't really driving on La Quinta, so they just figure.
But think about this.
Yeah.
Veracruz, they had wide sidewalks. And I'm not talking the Malecon. I'm talking in the city.
Mhm.
They had, Malecon was, if Malecon was this wide, the sidewalks were that wide, but they had plenty of room to walk. Just bring your portable air conditioner, a towel to wipe off with, and everything else, because God, it was hot.
Okay, does anyone know how long it has taken for our Kanhe exchange? Bruno, I have heard from a few sources in different places that it's taken about a week, maybe longer. It's really best if you have a facilitator that you have in mind to contact that facilitator directly, because they will know without a doubt, because they're doing it every day.
Well, they will know what the current
Situation
is.
Right.
And that does not mean that tomorrow that is still accurate, because everything changes. But as of right now, all of the decisions on those are going through Mexico City. So let's just use Querétaro as
is it decisions or just screening?
No, the decisions.
Because I thought that the decision was with the consulate.
No, the Conhe.
I know. I thought
the visa, the getting your visa is at the consulate.
Right.
Coming down to get your Conhe.
Yeah, but isn't it guaranteed at this point? So is it a decision, or is it
it's an approval
and a screening?
They still have the ultimate right if they want to. It doesn't happen very, very, very rarely does it happen that they deny somebody. But that, let's just use Querétaro. Let's say you go sit on the iron rods of death that'll kill your butt at the INM in Querétaro, and you sit there and you go up, you give it to them. That application process, because it is still an application process for temporary residency, then is transferred to Mexico City.
Yeah.
Mexico City has the ultimate call, thumbs up, thumbs down. Now they are doing it for the entire country.
Yeah.
So what we're hearing is taking anywhere from a week to 10 days. Once you start the Conhe process, you cannot leave the country. If you leave the country, you have to go back to the consulate, prove your financials all over, get another visa, and come back down here. So it's right now, the rumor is running anywhere from 1 to 3 weeks. So, plan on 10 days, but make sure that you have a contingency plan in place in the event that it takes longer, So
and stay in touch with a facilitator.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Because the facilitator is going to be able to tell you currently this is the case. But what they can't tell you is what's going to be the case tomorrow.
And let's see, Deborah. I was born and raised in New York, so I could sleep through horns, sirens, etc. We can sleep through them.
Oh, we don't have problems.
We're not having a problem. No, we don't have a problem sleeping through them. It's not that.
I wasn't going to say them sleeping. The problem may be temperature and other things, but yeah.
It's not that. It's just that it's constant. It's there.
It's there.
It's background noise,
and again,
but it's there, and we notice that it's here, but not a lot of other places we've been to. So it's just kind of a weird cultural thing here in San Luis that they just love to honk their horns.
And the biggest difference is, where our house is now in Querétaro is silence.
Yeah.
I mean,
we're out in the country, kind of.
We get no noise. There's a carretera that's not too far away. We don't hear anything where we're at. And so getting used to it again, the sound of the loud motorcycle running down Carranza, and that happens all the time, and sometimes it's 20 or 30 of them going down, but it's just getting used to the noise. So you're used to that noise. If SLP was it, you'll be fine. If you're going to Querétaro, you're not going to hear that much of it. I just,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they love to lay on the horns here.
I mean,
It's
I'm just
just
talking about just the traffic noise. We didn't hear too much of it when we were on the other side of Querétaro.
no. It depends on how close you are to main
I mean-
roads. Yeah, my only thing about it, the difference I notice the most is the horn honking, which doesn't bother me. I just find it amazing that we've been here twice now, and that is a key thing that has stood out both times.
Oh yeah. Nobody, no location we've been in Mexico. Now we have not been to Mexico City
and we haven't been to Puerto Vallarta
or
for
Guadalajara,
example. Right.
but by far the number of horns that get laid on, the winner is San Luis Potosí for our experiences.
So far. Last trip we took Aguas Calientes to Toluca. Seats were like first class airline seats. I'll be shipping the husband to Oaxaca City for a month at the start of 2026 to see how he deals with it. Shipping them there, huh?
Tell you what, Oaxaca City.
Oh, I love it there.
I could gain so much weight in that town because the food was ridiculously good.
There's a little bit of an edge going on in that city.
There is, but
oh, the food was just oh my God. I would gain so much weight. I would be like eating all the time.
Mole.
Mole. All the time.
Oh my God.
And Arlene, I was born in New York, but not raised. I still have that
New York.
New
York.
Oh gosh. My first English was my first English that I learned. When I relearned it, it came out with Queens, New Yorker accent. Oh no. There you go. And we agree. Lise and Romy are the best.
Arlene and Annie used, Lise and Romy in my place at Querétaro. We used them to secure the house that we have now.
Yep.
And Deborah, I can tell you this. They protected our interest in signing that lease.
Yep.
They went through and were counting every piece of silverware. I mean, it was like
every faucet was turned on. Hot water was checked.
And the biggest thing was in our lease, it was not stipulated that we had 30 days to find something, because once you live there, you may go, oh, okay, we found this, we found that, and they were like, no, they are not going to sign that until there is that 30-day clause in there for things that they find after moving in. And
yep, they checked every light switch, every door lock, every window, every blind, every piece of silverware, every appliance. And if the appliance didn't work, it ended up on a counter in the center kitchen
and it got taken out.
And it got taken out. I mean, they were that thorough. And as we were there signing, we had the Policia Jurídica, which is basically a lawyer who comes with the contract for the lease. Everything is outlined in extreme detail, nauseating detail, by the way. I mean, you would think you were buying the house.
Oh, yeah.
Every single page is signed by him and the representative, by us, by our guarantor, our avail, which was Annie. And in addition to that, Romy was sitting there writing addendums in hand. She's like handwriting addendums. And I mean, that they were that thorough. You're in great hands.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. For sure. Oh, she made a good friend with Lise, and she is charming.
Oh, she is.
And she speaks French too.
Yes, she does. and ask Romy about dancing in Paris.
Romy was she still is a ballerina. And
danced in Paris.
Yep.
Ballet.
Mm-hmm. Does the increased Conhay time also include visa renewal for
No.
the 3-year? No.
Because that's almost a rubber stamp. I mean, that's just
Yeah, if you already have residency, you just pay to have it extended.
unless you have really, really, really done something stupid. That is basically a formality and a way for them to get 11,000 pesos or whatever it was.
Whatever it is now.
Yeah.
Hey, Bruno, you did not notice the horns in Guadalajara.
Haven't been there, so couldn't say.
Yeah, we don't know yet, and it was just one of those things. We wondered if it was just a big city thing, but with as much traffic as Querétaro seems to get, we have not heard horns like that in Querétaro. I would think if you were going to be stuck in traffic, you'd be laying on a horn a lot sometimes, but haven't noticed it there. People are pretty good about traffic in Querétaro.
Yeah, I mean they can turn 2 lanes into 4 lanes with no problem. I mean, but other than that, no. It's. I think the maddest I have gotten driving the car was in Querétaro, and that was, we hadn't been there very long, and somebody decided to do the three lanes of traffic and went from the left-hand lane and shot all the way over and took an exit, in front of 2 other lanes of traffic. And that was like, really? I almost bit the end of my cigar off because I was like,
yeah. But nobody laid on their horn.
So,
the Conhay, we got ours at the consulate the day after we got approved. I didn't know that the consulate could do the Conhay. We took it in our moving truck to Best Mexico Movers. They packed it, brought it directly to Ajijic the day after we arrived. That's really cool. Now that was an easy process. You got lucky.
Knowing the right people.
It does help to know the right
I mean,
people.
honest to God, knowing the right company to contact to go, I'm going to move all our stuff down here, and finding, I don't want to say the wrong one. Was it JB who had the nightmare move down?
Oh, yes.
And
yes.
And so, there are good tales and there are bad. And normally there are overwhelmingly more good stories than there are bad stories. But, the bad ones can be like, so,
Another aunt. We'll be getting a car and driving from Monterrey, Zacatecas, CDMX. Any tips? We have not traveled to the loop around Mexico City yet.
No, but we've done from Monterrey to Zacatecas. We did Monterrey to
Aguas
Calientes. And we went through Saltillo and Zacatecas. And Zacatecas was where the woman got mad at us because we wouldn't tip her children for wiping our windshield after we repeatedly said no. That just stands out in
Hold up.
That was in Zacatecas when we just first pulled into town.
Okay.
And remember, the kids were up there. We kept going,
no.
And then she was over there, and she giving us the evil eye, like, really? And it's like, yeah, we said no. They wanted to clean. So that was our first day in Mexico without Ernie, because going from Reynosa to Monterrey, Ernie shepherded us all the way to the Auto Motelis and was like, okay.
All right, let me ask you this. Going from Monterrey to Zacatecas, was that the really long?
That was that was
kind of drive.
Yes, that was
nothing.
I mean, going from
nothing.
Going from Monterrey to Saltillo We had fog in the morning, and you're going up the mountain. I mean, it's a climb. And we were doing it, and I kept going, oh my God, I hope this truck in front of me does not drive off the side of this mountain because I'm following his taillights. I mean, that's all we could see. But once we got to Saltillo and then started going down to Zacatecas, my words of advice: do not pass a gas station.
Make sure you have a full tank all the time.
Make sure.
Download Google Maps to your phone for offline use. You will have no mobile signal for a while.
Make sure you download your music. Because
if you're going to play it in your car.
If you're going to play it in the car, because guess what? There ain't no signal.
There's no signal.
I mean, there's just no signal for a long period.
And the
I mean, we're talking 3 hours.
Yeah.
3 hours of no bathroom, no gas, no nada. I mean,
the GPS is even a little weak.
Yes.
So,
but don't worry. There's only one way to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
it's
a good road.
Do yourself a favor and download Google Maps to the phone for offline use if you need it, for sure. And make sure you get gas when you can.
There is about a halfway between Saltillo and Zacatecas. There's a Pemex station there, and it has a lot of local activity as far as food. Kids running around selling candy, which you can also walk into the Pemex and buy the candy. But I mean, it's just get your gas there. If you're over 60 and you cannot go 3 hours without a restroom, make the appropriate additions to the vehicle.
In other words, make sure you got a bottle to pee in. Carry toilet paper with you because some of those gas stations bathrooms may not have toilet paper.
And I can guarantee you that first one does not have seats.
Yeah, that's true too. So if you had a lady traveling with you, she's gonna have to squat. Just saying. But you do want to make sure you have toilet paper with you because sometimes those gas stations, they do not have toilet paper. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they will sell you a square of toilet paper.
And sometimes the roll is a big roll on the outside that you have to get before you go inside.
Yep.
So, if that isn't something that you're going in there to do, make sure you get the toilet paper before you find yourself in the stall, and then you're going, oh.
Make sure you're not driving that route in the dark.
Oh, God, no.
So don't get up super early in the morning and start hitting the road at 4 a.m.
No.
And
God, no.
And do not drive it, after dark at night.
No, you get to Aguas Calientes.
There were cows that had been, and horses that had been hit by tractor trailers or whatnot, laying on the side of the road dead. The last damn thing you want is to hit a big animal like that and then get stuck. I was just amazed. Yeah. Large animals laying dead on the side of the road. So and it's probably because they don't light the roads up. And so you're driving in the dark and you may not see potentially a big pothole. I believe that is a toll road. I could be wrong. Mark would know better at the time because that was a long time ago we did that drive. And the toll roads tend to be in better shape. But, you just don't want to drive at night. It's not even so much about maybe somebody trying to rob you or do something horrible to you. It's more about the conditions of the road and not being familiar with the road. You just don't want to drive at night. You could hit some big topes, not on that road, of course, but you could hit some topes, some potholes, animals. Stuff happens. But I remember I was shocked. We were just driving. There was like nothing. It was like...
It was beautiful country, but there was Nada.
There was nothing.
Nada.
It was like, I think we saw agave or maguey fields,
Oh God.
and
Yeah.
then it was like dead horse. Like, holy crap.
Yeah. I mean, and print yourself out. Do your research, automotelesdemexico.com, because if you got a car, you're going to want to stay in one of the automoteles. And
If you got a packed car.
I mean, because otherwise you got to unpack the car and everything else. Well, this, they have garages, and if I would go all the way to Aguas Calientes, and just because it's going to be close to about halfway between Monterrey and Ciudad de Mexico. And I'm trying to remember the name of the one we stayed at. Had the bull with the big
Toro.
Yeah, no, it was something else. And
give me a minute.
It was.
I'll tell you what it was.
Well, go to the video, Automoteles video, and it's the second one, because Kyoto was the one we stayed in Monterrey, and oh crap, no, I can't remember. It's the one that everybody likes to go. Because I came down the stairs, go, holy crap, Gina, wait till you see this.
Okay, so we stayed at Kyoto, and the second place we stayed at was Motel Astoria.
Yep, that's it. Motel Astoria in Aguas Calientes. It was 695 pesos at that time. You gonna put it back up to balance it, or
forget it.
Okay.
We're almost done.
Okay. It was 695 pesos for the entire night. The wings were good. They had, they brought me a bucket of beer so I could unwind.
They had a sex swing.
Well, I wasn't going there, but
I'm just saying.
No, it was immaculate.
It was very clean.
Immaculate.
I hit it with a black light. Everything was clean.
And then you're just the next morning we stopped, and there was a barbacoa stand that was right next to the gas station. So we got gas, got some barbacoa, and hit the road. And it was, if I remember right, like about 3 hours to Querétaro from there. So you probably got another 4 hours to Mexico City. So it's a 7-hour drive. So that would be my, just me off my memory, which.
Yeah, I think in summary, make sure you have a roll of toilet paper in your car.
Yep.
Make sure that you are never below.
We don't go below a half.
We never go below a half.
When we're traveling, we never go below a half. Yeah. If we're in town, a quarter is my cutoff. But when we're traveling from city to city, when it gets to a half, I'm starting to get desperate. So I plan ahead and look on the map and go, okay, there's a gas station here. I drive mentally on Google the entire drive, so I've got an idea of what's coming up.
And download offline Google Maps.
Yes.
In case you need them, in case you have to fall back on them. That's the biggie. Zacatecas, man. I haven't thought about that. Watch out for the dead horses and the dead cows.
Ooh.
I was outside Guadalajara, stuck in traffic, and everyone was chill. No,
I think it really depends upon the city.
I think so
here,
too.
I think here it's like, okay,
hey,
second nature.
Look who we got, Dawn and Lisa. Humidor is stocked. We just stocked his humidor too.
Yep. But
Peter Gabriel's in the queue. Boom.
Folks, I got to tell you, Don and Lisa have the most spectacular house that we have seen in all of Mexico. So
it's a beautiful, beautiful home with a beautiful view.
Their view of the Bay of Huatulco, I can't remember which bay it is, but oh my God.
Yeah, so
it's stunning.
We need to come back to Huatulco.
I love Huatulco because we got to go see Omar and see you guys, and it's like, yeah. And then stay up till I can't remember what time. It was late.
It was late. I actually had to drive us home because, well, he had a good time.
Well, duh.
uh, February, I was in Guadalajara and didn't really notice any horns, but I was mostly around
Centro.
Centro and the U.S. consulate. I just don't think that they have that thing
I
going
don't think
on there.
it's not the norm in Mexico. This is the abnorm. I mean, it's just.
Hey, Besses are out. Good night, guys, and thank you for sitting on for tonight's.
They're back in Indiana.
Yeah, looks like it, huh? I got to keep up. I'm so like out of touch with everything that's going on. And Ernie, Sir Dragon X, was saying to plan up to 5 weeks. Yeah, that's why it's really important to work with a facilitator. I mean, I know some people feel like they don't need to, and more power to them. But whenever you have changes in the process, like this current one that's happening, where they're filtering it through Mexico City, it's unpredictable. And so,
and here's the other problem with that is what's true today isn't true tomorrow.
Right.
And you get one shot at this basically without having to restart the whole process. And for us, we were like, do we want to go and potentially screw this up, or do we want to pay somebody and put it in the hands of for us, it was Yvonne Pavan, and Yvonne and her sister took such good care of us. It was just like, okay.
Host relocation.
Yeah.
In Querétaro is who we used there. And then in Progreso, we used Jonathan, the go-to guy.
The go-to guy. Yep.
Yep. And we feel that it was money well spent. Have a good night, Deborah. And I'm sure we will run into you not too long from now.
Well, hopefully an overwhelming majority are planning on making the trek to Ajijic and doing the meet and greet.
Christopher, we did our 3-year renewal a year ago, and we're surprised to find out that there were some delays and we needed the help of our facilitator to get it done in the 10 days that we were in Merida. And that's why
we had a facilitator, and he was like, we're going to Progreso, and he set the appointment, and it was bing, bang, boom. We were out of there. The other couple that was there, that was not the case. So, and they were working with a facilitator, but they had not alerted their credit card company that they were in Mexico.
They were getting double charged for the same amount.
Because there was 2 of them.
There was 2 of them, and the credit card wasn't letting it go through.
And so what happened with ours was, I put it in Charles Schwab card, put it in for me.
Yep.
Took it out. Gina sits down, put it in for her, same amount. I mean, we're talking 3 minutes later.
And then I did get a warning.
And then all of a sudden my phone goes off and it goes, is this an error, or is there really 2 charges? I went, yes, there are 2 charges. And it was like, boom, gone. Okay.
Yeah, they don't charge you both together in one charge.
No, you cannot combine them.
So it's just how that works.
Unless you take cash.
True.
If you take cash, then it's.
And we agree. And this is absolutely why we say this. We recommend you consult with the facilitator in the city that you're going. Very good advice, Christopher.
And even now, plan on the contingency. If you're going down for Kanye, because you got to stay, plan on making it longer with the, if it was me, I'd be buying a first class ticket, because that you can change with no charge, and you can go, okay, I got my card, call the airline, say I want tomorrow's flight to, wherever, and go from there.
For sure. The husband used to drive semis. He's familiar with bottles. And we do carry a TP with us.
There you go.
See, that's all you got to do. And Arlene's right. It doesn't have to be a facilitator. Arlene is saying, we did it with a lawyer and an assistant that did all the work like a facilitator. And then they hired a facilitator later. So
as long as you got somebody who knows the system, because that's the problem.
Half the battle is somebody who is familiar with the people who are working at the INM. They have an in, they know the process, and they may know somebody who can get them in faster, or who can work with them more easily. It's always really good to have somebody like that. And I'm not saying that people should never try to do this themselves. If you've got the time and you've got the patience and you've got a command of the language, by all means, you can do this yourself. But if you are limited on time, if you are limited in language, and if you just want to make sure that it's done as quickly and as efficiently as possible.
I just got one caveat.
What's that?
And the caveat is this. Do you want to try and navigate yourself as an amateur the future of the rest of your life? Because if you screw it up, it's just, we looked at it and went, for a couple $100, we got somebody who is going to do this, that does it all the time.
Yeah.
We wanted to give it the ultimate opportunity to succeed.
Yeah. And Bruno, I think it sounds like maybe these have changed, because I was always under the impression that the decision to allow you residency was made at the consulate appointment when you were handed your visa. And the Conhe was just a process you had to do to convert that to a resident card. Like the decision had already been made. But it sounds like now they want to screen those.
And I can't blame them.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. Think about this. Each consulate is sort of their own little business
empire
doing it the way they want to do it, and handing out visas. Some of them are harder, some of them are easier. And this is Mexico City's way of going, all right, let's make sure we got this.
Hace calor from La Paz. So it's hot, huh?
Ooh.
Oh, no. Okay. I remember way back when Gina had the black light to check the automoteles. You guys remember?
We just had to get a new one.
Yeah, I had to get a new one. One of them actually wouldn't turn on anymore, and I tried to replace the battery. It didn't matter. So I got a new one, and this one's rechargeable with a USB cable. I'm like, okay, that'll work. I got it from Temu. I'm a Temu fan now. I am a Temu fan for sure. That was nice that Dawn and Lisa drove you guys. No. I drove.
She drove us home.
I drove him. I drove us back to our place in Huatuco.
Yeah, that was
a wild night for him.
Let's put it this way. Their house is so nice, and then all of a sudden we get to the outside part, and full kitchen, big double refrigerator, and Don goes, grab a beer. And I open, Tom, you would love this. Open it up, and there are 2 cases of Corona, 2 cases of Victoria, and 2 cases of Modelo in the fridge, waiting, cold.
It was taco night.
It was taco and UFC night. And so
it was taco night.
And then they give us a tour of the house, and we walk upstairs, and what looks like a wine chiller cabinet is Don's humidor.
I was just amazed.
And he was just like, try one of these. Oh, this one's good. Try one of these. I mean, the man was beyond kind and sharing his good sticks. And it was like, oh my God, well, I cannot have a stick without having a beer. And so, yeah, it was.
And there you go. And thus, Gina drove us home. Oh, yeah. We're doing our Conhe at the Chapala INM. Okay, with a facilitator. Wow, in Ajijic.
Yeah, because you guys are going to actually do that the day before most of us, or the day most of us are arriving, you'll be at the INM. So,
and I think we had heard, or we discussed this maybe at the last live, that they do theirs almost same day, right? Like you just walk in, like you don't even need an appointment or something like that, kind of.
And I know that they're going to use a facilitator because they're using the one that Craig and KJ use. So,
Yes,
that's
right.
one of those where you go,
That's right.
whatever they say, just tell me when to be there.
Yep. Yep. Oh, Anna. Hola. Forgot what day it was.
So did we. So
we forget these things too. I never know what day it is. Let's see. Whoop. I don't want to go there. What's the final cost for residency each? Oh, the final cost. For which
well, I mean,
1 year, 3 year,
for temporary,
permanent.
For temporary, if we include the facilitators, I'm just saying.
Hold on.
Without the facilitators, I think it's about
I'll tell you in a
14,000 pesos.
I get well.
Which if you think about
it has changed.
Well, I know. I'm just
when we
giving
were
you what we paid.
When we were in Querétaro the first time,
it's like 2,700.
When we were in Querétaro the first
somewhere around that ballpark, and then we paid Yvonne.
And I may not have that in here for Yvonne. Oh, here it is. INM. It was in.
4,700 pesos.
It was 4,739 pesos.
It's almost 5,000 pesos
at the INM, and that was not Yvonne's fee.
No. So 5,000, and we round down the other way because we rounded up that way. About 11,000, so about 16,000 pesos is what we paid for 4 years of temporary residency.
And then when we went to Progresso to renew for 3 years, I'm looking.
I know.
Oh, that place with writing on tablet. It's Zibilchatun.
Yeah, go right ahead, baby.
Zibilchatun. Okay.
You say that as many times as you want to.
Zibilchatun. Because little Willie won't.
I mean, it was a little over 11,000 pesos. And so you add that with the 4,700, and yeah, it's right around 1,500 pesos.
Well, shoot.
Or 15,000 pesos.
I don't even have it in here.
No, I know what it was.
I think I didn't put it in here because it was not a cost of living.
I know. I get that. Yeah. So, yeah, you can figure 15,000 pesos, $750 got us 4 years. So you break that down, our average cost is a little under $200 a year. And then in, oh my God, it's hard to say this, 13 months, 15 months, we go for permanent. So, and that all depends upon where we end up calling home.
Whatever the rate is at that time, too. I'm not real sure what the permanent rate is right now. In the long run, if you're able to do permanent, you save.
You save money.
You save yourself money in the long run, but
if you want to bring a car,
yeah,
you pay them extra money and bring your car.
Today, a couple in San Miguel de Allende got there same day. That is awesome. That's
awesome.
The
hard part is again, the only consistency in the Mexican government is the inconsistency.
Yep.
You don't want to. If you were to come down here and go, I'm counting on getting it the same day, I can guarantee that's not going to be the case.
Oh, lordy.
So.
All right. I think we have come to the end of our live stream. I think it was a pretty good chat today, guys.
Yep.
We really appreciate having you on here with us. I don't think we can ever underestimate the value of relationships in everyday life without adding the extra stress of moving, particularly to a foreign country. So, I hate to see people make that jump and they don't have a solid foundation to begin with.
Oh,
and then you add this extra stress, and
that only
waiting for the world to melt.
That only if you come down here thinking this is going to be the cure-all, no. the problems you had before only get magnified down here. So
always be there. Another one here from Tom. Oh yeah, Tom had done his in Chapala for sure. Yeah, good night to you
yeah, but
guys.
Tommy, you speak fluent.
Yeah,
Fluent.
Tommy's cool with this. He knows what he's doing. And Stephanie, thank you so much, guys. We're gonna call it a night. We will see you again in 2 weeks.
We're not sure whether it'll be here or there, but
I don't know.
Wherever.
We're trying to figure that out. I think that we actually miss our house.
I don't have to think.
I know. I miss having an office and an actual office chair. But we'll see.
I miss the hot water.
And the hot water.
And the bed.
And the bed.
And the kitchen.
And the kitchen.
Need I go on?
We're spoiled. All right. Thanks, guys, so much. We hope that you have a good evening, and we'll see you again live in 2 weeks.
Dos semanas.
And as always, I am working on videos. I really am. I promise. I'm actually making some headway. So
she is that.
I am. So I'm getting there. It's just I'm trying not to be too tired and burn myself out. So, all right, guys, we will see you again pretty soon. Have a wonderful couple of weeks. Love you all.
See you then.
Bye.